Yeah, we're about to go live.
That's all right. As long as you ain't slow dancing.
Act like you got them skate. 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 Go live, I'm finna go live. 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 Go live, I'm finna go live.
Here we go. We already got 35 in the building. Let me know everything looks good. Sounds good. My man V12 in the building, man. Let me tell you something, V12. I appreciate everybody being here today, man. Been a long day. My Lord, 60 already in the building. Hit the like button, subscribe button as you come on in. The Miami Hurricanes take a L 40-10 to the Clemson Tigers, man. They have 8 yards rushing. 8 yards total, excuse me. In the first half. My goodness. What do you say, Twill? Talk to me.
Yeah, it's one of those nights where you just sit back and you look at the game. And let me just say this. Clemson, they're going to have issues of their own. They're not an explosive team by no means. They did to us what we allowed them to do to us. And what I mean by that is we said earlier in the pregame that the coaches will have to coach their best game. Well, guess what? The offensive coordinator for Clemson, Streeter, coached one of his best games. And I think that's some of the type of experience, some of the type of leverage, some of the type of professionalism that Gaddis needs to instill in the Miami offense. This dude called a phenomenal game in the first half for the most part. Everything he did was working. A lot of motion, a lot of basic slants. I'm not sure we went through a slant today. Just basic slants. And so that's what you get when you play a team where the coaches are on top of things. And I'm not by no means trying to blame Mario and Gaddis for everything. Let's just get it straight. But they are to be held accountable for what happened today. They got out coached at every level. Let me ask you a question, Coach. Does this seem crazy to you that every time Mario calls a timeout, the next play something bad happens? He'll call a timeout, and then we get a false start. Or we call a timeout on defense. Next time they score a touchdown. Like I'm not. I mean, we're calling timeouts for no reason, and those are the type of things that we need to be a better football team. Now, the team has some fight. I will agree. But the score is not really indicative of how the game went because we had some opportunities, but then we never were not able to capitalize. So it's, normally I'm ranting and raving. I thought, why not us? But eventually, they didn't want to do it today. I do see that we do have a future. I love what Cam is doing. I think that he could be a very special player at the U. I love what, of course, what Young is doing. I do think we have an issue at quarterback, and I know that Young is relatively young, but what's triggering me is between
Young, the receiver Young.
Yeah, Kobe Young, and also the quarterback for us, 11.
Brown.
Yeah, just Corey Brown. The issue for me is that the quarterbacks seem to have difficulty locating and making plays against the blitz. We were supposed to kill Clemson on the blitz. And you said it, Coach. Clemson likes to blitz. That's what you said in the beginning. You read that game plan out. Why weren't we focusing on that? And they playing us 10 yards back, Coach. What are we getting pretty for? But again, Gaddis still trying to run the ball, and we essentially have no yard. It's just a mess. We got to get better all around.
Yeah, it was bad, man. We're going to open up these lines. I'm going to let the people talk. I really don't have much to say. I said everything I had to say in pregame. Real quick, man, this time of possession was 18:40 for Miami to 40 minutes Clemson. Total drives was 12-13. That was even. Total plays was doubled by Clemson, 84, and we had only 42. They had 447 yards. We had a total of 98 yards in the entire game. We only had 68 yards passing between two quarterbacks, bro. Let me see here. We had 30 yards rushing. They had 207. I mean, it was a butt whipping across the board. And literally the ball did not bounce our way today. I talked about that. Sometimes the ball has to bounce your way. They muffed the kick. It fell. They had the guy to get there to recover it. They got the what's your name? Your boy named Johnson, man. 40 Caleb Johnson comes and lays a great hit, knocks the ball out, and it literally falls right into the other guy's hands for Clemson. And that's where, you know, that's just that happens, but that's bad business. Just to get my take on the quarterbacks, I have to say this: Ja'Cory Brown, excuse me. It's literally his second start. I'm not mad at him, not one bit. I told y'all a long time ago, I would rather take these kind of whippings and him get a head start if he's going to be the guy next year. I have to be honest, right? If he's going to be the guy next year, let him take this butt whipping now and learn from it, right? Not trying to win the games. Yeah, you want to win the games. But I said this 5 weeks ago, or 4 weeks ago, rather, when I said, hey, if we got to take those 4 or 5 losses for them to get game experience and potentially win some games in the process, that's cool. But we're winning for next year, meaning we're winning through game experience for next year. For some reason, we're still in love with Will Mallory. Yeah, he catches the ball, but he doesn't block.
Coach,
bro.
Oh, I almost fell out of my seat. I was going to call you on that screen, and I almost fell out of my couch. I was like, what are we doing? And that, I'm going to tell you something, Coach. He around here smiling and doing all this, that's going to hurt his draft stock, because every time he gets highlighted, especially on that wing, it's a simple play, Will. I don't know if he can't block. I don't think his effort is there. And at the next level, he got to put more effort into getting these blocks.
But I don't blame him. You know why I don't blame him anymore? I said it pregame. We know who our players are by now. So therefore, when we call particular play X, why is he standing in that spot? Why are we not changing it? Why are we not putting a Khalil Brantley, who we saw we brought in and gave a great block on there? I've seen Will Mallory with Mallory so many blocks out there. Even on that 4th and 1, we tried to go up the gut. Like, bro, it's terrible, bro. So with all that being said, I mean, that's our fault. When I say our fault, I mean the coach's fault. That's coach's fault by continuing to put guys who cannot accomplish a task, and we put them in positions to accomplish that task. I keep talking about the 3-legged horse in the Kentucky Derby. We can't get mad at the horse because he got 3 legs. Stop putting him in the race. If you want him to just catch balls, put him out there in the passing package. When it comes to the running pass, I don't care if they know. Who cares? At this point, what's the difference? What's the difference? So I'm done with that. Alakazam, Clemson fan, but he's always been a supporter of this show. Thank you, man, so much. He says, didn't think we would win like that. Game should have been closer than it was. We always play hard against y'all. Much respect from a Clemson fan. Alakazam, man, I appreciate you. Like you said, you the ops, as they say, man, but you're a respectful op. And so I thank you for that, man. $5, man. Like I say, you always come and have supported this show for a very long time. So thank you, man. I really appreciate it for the $5. Thank you so much for that. Mr. DB, 2006, $4.99. No excuse for the majority of our players to regress the way we have. We blame the players, but that's coaching. Where's the accountability? I think that's what 12 you were alluding to earlier. Absolutely. In the sense that, you know, I've said this before. Everybody has to sit at the round table and stand up like an intervention and say, I am responsible for what's going on, from the head coach to the water girl, right? From everybody, because it's not just one person. It's not just one thing. Every week is something totally different, man. And so, hey, it is what it is, and go for it, Tua.
It's impossible for me to sit here almost the second to last game of the season, Coach, and we haven't been fluid. Listen to the word fluid this entire season. I'm gonna give you a prime example. Mm-hmm. Even on the great catch that Brantley made, that play was almost a disaster. Jake almost blew that touchdown. We don't seem to be like, we have confidence in the plays we're running and confidence in what we're doing on the football field. We don't have that confidence, especially on offense. Defense may have it a little more. I will say this. DJ for Clemson, he made some runs. He wasn't running exceptionally fast, but I'm gonna tell you what, the defense, I would give him a respectable C because they made some tackles and they did the best they could holding the team down. But our offense, we do not have an offensive identity. We're in the freaking matrix. We don't know who we are. We don't know who we want to be, and that's going to be the issue. We played 3 quarterbacks this season, duly in part by injuries and different things. So guess what? Going into next season, we have to find out an identity. We have to get better. If we have to make some changes from some coordinator standpoints, so be it. But coach, we can't go into a second year looking like this. We have Pitt coming the last game at home. We gonna see. But this, I mean, it wasn't a good game, and that's where coaching comes in. And if we were a decent coach, if we were a decent team, it's a closer game at Clemson. Like, there's no way we're sitting in at halftime. We're still trying to run the ball with Knighton. I just don't understand where we're going. Like, what is we practice all week. What are we practicing? They're playing everyone 7 yards back. You drop back over the top. Let them respect you. That's the basic fundamentals of football. It's a chess game. All this moving Clemson is doing, it was nothing special. It was just window dressing. But we fall into the trap. Yeah, of course. You know, Jacory is young, but he been picking up blitzes since it's all high school career, just going through Pop Warner. Same thing for Jake Garcia. So you see that you have to be able to be intuitive and make the plays. And that's the difference between some of the better quarterbacks in college football and where we are now at the U.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, like I said, I think Clemson did what they were supposed to do, right? They bring in a lot of pressure. Like I told you, they do a lot of exotic blitzes. Brett Venables simply left his mark there, and they continued on, right? And they're bringing guys from everywhere. They showed, hey, guess what? I'm going to see if you can really throw this ball. We're going to go no safety, bring the pressure, and put it on you. And that's what they did. But that's what you're supposed to do, right? When you see fresh meat out there, dog, you got to cook it. You understand me? You can't go out there and play around with it. You might lose it. So go ahead and burn that thing up. And that's what they did to the young buck. But I'm glad he got this experience. I'm glad Curry got this experience because he can live and he can eat off of this and he can get better off of this. What I hope in my heart of hearts is not just a one-man thing. We need this in its totality from a team perspective. If we're going to have guys to start jumping in transfer portals, if we're going to have guys ready to lead this program, and trust me, when that Pitt game is over on Saturday, Monday, you're going to see a bunch of these letters. I want to thank the University of Miami for all they've done and forever be a cane, but I have to die, yada, 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 yada. We'll see these things going forward. But if we know that, then let's go ahead and prepare ourselves. Like I said, the future is here, 12. So if the future is here, let's prepare for the future. So don't let it just be a Jacory thing. And that's across the board. I didn't see a Brashard Smith sighting. Did y'all see him at all? Is he hurt? Please put in the chat if Brashard Smith was hurt prior to this game. I didn't see him get one now route yet. I have another question. I've been saying this for the longest. The University of Miami does not cut guys. If we're going to throw perimeter balls right now routes and everything else, why are we not cutting guys if they have a tendency to bat our balls? And I'm talking about perimeter throws, not down the field. Those things happen. I get it. But I'm talking about last week I put on the good, bad, and ugly. The guy coming up and they tried to pull Seymour across, and he got his hands up to bat the ball, and Jacory had to go up the gut. Why are we not just cutting these guys, laying them down? So therefore, it's a clean shot right there. Those are the type of things that we have. Somebody say he played. Okay. Well, thanks, Leon Hurricane. Somebody say he played. If he caught a ball, I sure didn't see it. If he did, he got what? One? Let me see. Receiving. Hold up, bro. I'm looking at this wrong. Only 2 people caught a ball today? Oh, no, I'm sorry. This was everybody. No. Maybe they don't have all the stats up here. Jesus help me, Lord. Receiving was Mallory, Young, and Williams. Only had 3 people catch a ball today?
That's about right, I think. I don't think Restrepo caught a pass. I don't remember. Yeah, could be wrong, but I don't recall a lot of passes being caught. Well, Brantley caught one. We know Brantley caught a pass. That was a touchdown.
Hold on. They got Ja'Cory Brown. They got him for 6 for 13. Garcia is 3 for 5. So that's a total of 9 to 18. It may have to update it as it's going because again, the game just finished, so they probably haven't updated it yet. But that's where we are right now. Well, wow, man. That's what it is. I'm not going to belabor this point. I said at the 15-minute mark, we'll go ahead and open up the phone line for the people. People have already been trying to call in. 12 any last points you want to get out before we open this up? We got 425 people in the building. I appreciate it. Hit that like button, subscribe button as you come on in, as well as I want to give some quick love before you give your last point. On Cash App, donated $10. Mr. Joseph Latham, appreciate you. He says for the great content. So thank you very much. I have it here. So if you care to do that on Cash App, it'll pop up here and I give you your love. Unfortunately, I can't do it there. But we already got a phone line open. But 12, any last words? Caller, give me a second before
we can go ahead. We can talk. Let the people talk. It's been a couple of weeks. I know they're anxious to give their spiel. So let the folks talk, man.
All right, let's do this real quick. We got a lot of people in the building. I got to give love to who? Our sponsor for the day, Mr. Alex Tabio, right there from Pioneer Funding Mortgage Funding, Incorporated, man. Anything you got to do with home financing, check him out. Great fan of the program. Been sponsoring the show for a very long time. 100% financing. All you need is some closing costs, couple $1,000s, no big deal. And guess what? A 640 credit score. You don't even need no 700. A 640 and you in the building. Give them a call, 305-205-1697. All the other information is in the description as well. Email address, so forth and so on, man. So thank you, man, Mr. Alex Tabio, for always supporting this show and doing your thing. And he is certified in the entire state of Florida as well. So go ahead and check him out. 704 on the line. Talk to us, caller.
Coach, put the number. People asking what the number are, so you want to make the number so.
Yep. Sorry.
Yep.
Go ahead, caller. Some people got it already locked in. Caller, talk to us.
Hey, what's up, Coach? It's Gordon, man.
Great Gordon, get away from me, Gordon. Get away.
No, man. I thought that you showed a lot of fight in that second quarter, the third quarter, and they're on the way. You could see Mario. This is a 2-score game with 10 minutes left, and they just showed fight. And I think next week is big because those extra 15 practices will be huge for the U to get everybody going. I think when you have a young team, those extra 15 practices are just critical. And I don't care if you go into the Duke Mayo Bowl in Charlotte or the Shreveport to some, the fans might look down on it, but that extra 15 weeks of practice. So next week is big, but you can see the youth. And when you get to the 11th, 10th game of the season, it's also about depth. And, you start to get these injuries. So you can see where Mario's taking the team. Mm-hmm. Big play early. If you hit that play to Restrepo, wide open, blown coverage, you just never know how the momentum of the game goes if that play hits. And that was one big play early. If Ja'Cory hits that to Restrepo, blown coverage early, I think it's the second play of the game. Mm-hmm. That's a huge momentum change. I think it could also impact. He gets the run the next play and gets a penalty, and that does a lot for a young quarterback's confidence. So that's. But you could tell Mario's got the team attention, got the young players, and it's just going to be a growth process. And so
I got you.
But I think next week is big. Next week is huge, man. I can't. We got to take out Pitt and people might look down at people might not come to Charlotte for the Duke Mayo Bowl or whatever bowl, but those extra 15 practices for this team, like the youth that you saw out there, the guys, the fight that you saw today against a very senior laden Clemson team. Right. Defense has a lot of guys that are going to be in the pros next year.
Gotcha.
You could kind of see, and you kind of put that late touchdown in the back of your mind if you play them again.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Gordon, man. But like I say, I appreciate it. We got a gang of people calling, but thank you, man. That always all supporting, and we got us still going on Tuesday, man.
See, take it easy, Coach. Great show.
Appreciate you, baby.
I will.
Thanks, man. All right, real quick. We got a 2-minute time up there as well. So we'll give you 2 minutes to go ahead and get your point across. You can vent, ask questions, whatever. But we're gonna put the time up there because we got quite a few people calling in. Real quick, Carl Hector 499. I strongly believe that we need a new OC. I never liked that hire from the start. 98 yards of total offense and 3 people called a pass. Embarrassing. Again, I said 3 people. I know, like you said, Khalil Brantley. You said whatever, but that's what it is listing as of right this moment. So yeah, that's tough. That's tough sledding. But Carl, thank you so much. We got another call.
Hey, Coach, you may not be off. It could be 3, it could be 4, but no more than 5 or 6 people call passes. Just to my knowledge. I mean, I can't recall it even watching the game, so I could be wrong, but it shouldn't have been a lot. We only had 90 yards of, and then 90 yards of offense.
98.
Yeah,
98
so,
total.
So you do your deduction. You'll figure that out. It's easy that it wasn't a lot of production going on today. It wasn't a lot of production going on. Easy. What's up, Smiley? I see you. Shout out Smiley.
Exactly. Smiley and Ellen in the building. I appreciate it. There she go right there. Thank you, baby Shad folks here. Not liking the video. Thank you, Ellen, as always. Let me get this last one and we got him up. So Don Long, $2. Name one play on the offense better than last year. I'll pose that question to the caller as he comes on in and he got his time. Go ahead. You got 2 minutes, brother. Caller.
Coach A.
Yes, sir.
Listen, this is Johnny from Polk County.
John, what's up? Talk to me.
Listen, I'm watching TV and I'm listening to everybody talk, but, I've been following this ever since the spring. Them coaches ain't lied to nobody. If you ask them a question, especially that defensive coordinator, he say they got a lot of want to. I don't think nobody has lied. These coaches have lied about anything when it comes to these players and the way they are. You just look at them, they give up quick. I don't know what it is, but I'm not going to get down on these coaches because they have not ever, to me, lied about any of these players. They said it like it was. They didn't put nobody on no pedestal. They never said these guys were great. These guys were good. I don't know. I mean, my wife told me the other day, she said, baby, this kind of reminds me of Scott Frost when he left UCF, went to Nebraska. He went back home. She said, I hope this ain't what it is. Yeah, so I don't know what you think. I mean, them coaches ain't lied to nobody, so they can't hold these coaches accountable.
Yeah, well, not lying to anybody about what's going on and not coaching is, to me, is 2 different things. Coaching things, seeing things out there on the football field, putting guys in position, want to is a part of the equation. But remember, it's a full equation. Here's why I say that. You also got to help those guys who want to be in good position so they can want to, if that makes sense. All right. John, you hear me or you gone? Okay.
I mean, I'm just saying because I look at some of these same players.
John, you got to cut your background down, John.
I look at some of these same players. Well, my wife trying to help me out here. But I look at some of these same players and from last year, and it seems like there has been no change in what they're doing and what they know. And I'm not a football player, so I'm not going to say I go out there every day and do what they do, but it's just like it's no change. It's no change, and it just don't like it's going to change. Yeah. So maybe next year we got something forward to look to, and it can get better. But I'm still going to wear my green and orange. I'm still going to roll my flag. I ain't going to change. So
there you go, baby.
Hey, look forward to next year.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot, brother.
All right.
Yes, sir. All right, 12, what you got to say in regards to that?
It's still a you all day. I understand what he's saying. He's saying that coaches never expressed that these kids professed these kids to be great. I get that. So from that perspective, I guess he's correct because he's pretty much a straight shooter. But I agree with you saying, Coach, that they have to be held accountable for what's going on with the ship right now. I mean, if you look at the chat and some of the Canes fans, they're saying that, which is crazy to think that you're looking at these games and saying some players have regressed. I mean, that is remarkable. I know Strepo was hurt, but you got some of these players who, we spoke about DJ Ivy. I mean, he made a couple plays towards the end, but I mean, it's almost like what technique are they teaching him? He's always a day late, $1 short on the play, and it costs the team. So it's just hard for me. Gordon mentioned we were 2 scores down with about 10 minutes, right? I'm glad he mentioned that. So here's what I'm looking at from a fan perspective. We know that we probably not gonna get the ball back in enough time. We probably got one timeout left. We going backwards. Instead of us doing plays so we could go for it on 4th down, it don't matter. We at our 40. Game is pretty much over regardless. We punt the ball with 7 minutes left. Guys, we trying to win a game. We trying to be competitive. Then we turn around and then Clemson just runs it down our throat. Like if that's gonna happen, I'd rather we make an effort, we make a calculated effort and get the ball down the field. And then on 4th down, put us in the best position possible. Mm-hmm. And if we fail on 4th down, we fail on 4th down. But we punt like we're gonna get the ball back with 2. We needed 2 touchdowns and 2 2-point conversions. It's tough for me. And as a fan, I'm like, give me some excitement. Like I just can't sit here and wave the white flag. Like we're already losing.
Right. I got you. Let me go and knock these 2 out, and then we got a call on the line. Kevin E49, another L size. Ooh, I get it, brother. And Big Wick Clean in 1999. Gaddis has been a failure. Playing with no pace and hiking the ball with 4 seconds is bad coaching. Not sure he survives. I should jab Coach Gaddis. How are you seeing things on film that they aren't coached?
Big Wick, let me tell you something, man. I got this on. I got my little checklist, man. We must be watching the same. We all watching the same game. Dog, we use no tempo. We walk into the line. We get whatever we did, even an inch of confidence and momentum. We walk into the line. We use no tempo in this game. I can't recall. It's almost like we were sleepwalking. And so Big Wick, he makes a valid point. Like we
very valid. And I'm gonna just say this too quick, bro. I'm so tired of this. Hold on, this check with me, and we getting down. We forcing ourselves to call timeout because you're not getting to the line quickly. Therefore, you don't have time to play those check with me games, man. But I'm gonna get this call on the line. 614 area code. Caller, talk to us.
Hey, Coach Hayes, how are you?
All right, we got a lady on the line. Talk to us. What's going on?
Yeah, first off, I just want to say I really love your show and the spotlight that you put on young men.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
What's your name and where you calling from?
So now I'm calling from Columbus, Ohio.
Okay. I know Columbus very well. Some good friends in that area.
Okay.
Oh, let me give her a timer. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You got 2 minutes. Speak your mind. Are you an Ohio State fan or you a Cane fan?
I'll say I'm both.
Okay.
I'll claim both. So I just want to talk about your Cane fans. So I guess I just need to understand how the fans thought that a team that's record is 5-5 would beat or blow out a team whose record is 9-1. Like some of that just doesn't make sense. But I do understand being a loyal fan, but I also think that people need to be realistic. So I know you like to do a lot of analogies. So I'm going to say that the Cane fans remind me of parents with kids in sports. So this particular child, Hurricanes, is mediocre at best, but all the parent sees is Warren Sapp and Michael Irving. So the parent actually even invites family members to come and watch Little Timmy throw 2 interceptions and get knocked around on the field. So I think that Cane fans just need to be a little more realistic and just let University of Miami get to the point where, or the level that the fans currently see it. But anyways, so I'm going to go out with this. In the words of Suge Knight, if you Cane fans,
you better not say nothing crazy.
That doesn't throw interceptions or have a 5-7 season record, or a team that scores for the first time in the third quarter, come on over to the winning side, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Mic drop.
Get off my line with that foolishness, man.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Hey, listen, shout out to the ladies from Columbus.
We just got tried, dog.
No. Real talk, though. We got to see, and I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Thank you for calling. You know, we always like ladies to call the show. That's brilliant. But I'm going to give her a credit, Coach. because she used, I had to write it down. She used Warren Sapp, Micah Irvin, Poe Lil Timmy, and Suge Knight in her soliloquy. That
Give
was
us 1 second, caller.
that was awesome. So I give her credit. And she made a perfect analogy. That is kind of absolutely correct how she made it. Mediocre at best son and mad at coaches, this and that. But I want to answer her question. The reason why Canes fans, myself, thought that we would win this game today was we were expecting what's called a miracle. And that does happen sometimes. So I had my sign today saying, why not us? So I had hey, like 3 stacks say like hope and maybe, right? I'm like 3 stacks like hope and maybe. I was hoping that maybe we would beat Clemson, but it ain't happened today. So thank you for that call.
I'm gonna tell you this before we get to this call.
And let's move on.
I'm gonna tell you this. I seen a better sign on 62nd and 15th, though. I don't know you get that sign, bro. Caller, talk to us. 717 area code.
Yeah, how you doing? How you doing, Coach Hayes?
I'm doing pretty good. Talk to us, man. You got 2 minutes on the line. Talk to us.
You got it. I'm gonna be a rapid fire. Listen, I want to know right now, point blank, what does Corey Flagg have on the coaching staff that gets him on that field? What kind of top secret stuff does he have on them? Because playing linebacker in college and playing a position for 20 years, I'm gonna tell you something. He is the worst linebacker I've ever seen. He should be playing Division III. And then I see number 34 come in, Ryan Ragone. He's the worst linebacker I've ever seen, apart from Corey Flagg. Both of them look like they haven't been in a strength program. I want somebody here, somebody on this studio, tell me how Corey Flagg is still chubby. He's been 3-4 years in a college weight program. How does he still look like he's out of shape? Who recruited him and Corey? Who recruited him and Ryan Ragone out of Houston? Why are we going to Houston to get 5'8" linebackers? Somebody please tell me. It's frustrating. Hey, and you know what? I'm not going to take up 2 minutes, but I'm just going to leave you with this. You want to know how you can score on Miami? Run an inside counter on Corey Flagg. Or just throw to that tailback out in the flat. He's got no speed. He may be a real nice kid, but he needs to get the hell off that field. I'm out.
I appreciate that. I'm going to just say this about Corey Flagg. As everybody knows, I am the underdog king. We really saw a big difference when Corey Flagg got out on his injury. We totally saw a big difference. He may not be the fastest, and I totally agree with that, but I do think at this particular moment, he is, as Mel Kiper says, best available. He's best available, and again, he's doing what he's told to do. He may not do it at a high level that we may think. He may not be the fastest, but when he went out with that injury, that middle of the show looked suspect then, didn't it? All right, Wesley Saint's still a young guy, but he's only one of two. So my question is, when he goes down, who's next? Ragone. Who's next after him? We already lost my man with the dreads. What's his name? Talk to me, somebody. What's the linebacker with the dreads that got hurt? Steve. Yeah, we lost Wayman Steed already. So tell me who's the next best available, and I'll put him out there if they beat him. But let me go ahead and get this. Appreciate that call. Let me get this right quick before we go to Shad 1419999. He says, Coach, if a coach needs the Joe Moore award-winning O-line to put up a decent offense on the field, can we really say he's a good coach regardless of injuries, culture, etc.? If coach needs the Joe Moore award-winning O-line to put up a decent offense, I don't know, Shad. I really don't. I mean, injuries have plagued this offensive line, but we still look bad. I can't. It's hard for me to answer these questions if I'm not in these rooms, and a lot of it is strictly speculation, bro. But from the outside looking in, it's like a mechanic. Basically, you telling me what's wrong with the car, but I got to listen to the engine. And right now, I can't listen to the engine. I'm looking on the outside in, saying, bro, that is bad. I really don't know if it's your alternator, your carburetor, hell, maybe it just be the whole thing, man. But Shad, I appreciate that. Caller 843 area code. Give us your name, where you calling from.
Man, there's Lotso, Hurricane Lotso, man. In the flesh.
Lotso, talk to me, man. What's up?
Hey man, I just heard in response to what you just said. Listen, I don't think there's any need to go in on Corey Flagg. Like he is what he is. Like it's not his fault. You know what I mean? Like We know he's suspect against the quarterback draws or any center running up against him. We know that. It's all good. Ain't no need to go at him again. The coaches see it every day just like we see it too. It is what it is. Here's my thing about the offense though. I can't really judge the players, coach. I can't judge the players, coach, because I get the same feeling. And don't judge me too hard, coach.
Go for it.
I'm getting the same feeling like Enos. You can't really judge the players because the offense really ain't you really ain't seeing their best. You really ain't seeing what they do best. Let's be. So I don't think Jacory gonna start next year. I'm just saying, I don't think it's fair for Tyler to come back with already being hurt with this offense. I think he can sit out the rest of this year and possibly wait for the next OC to come in. Because this we people saying we run the same system as Michigan. Nah, buddy. I was there when we went to Georgia Tech. All right, it was cool. It was nice. It was a good vibe. All right, but he still was running quarterback draws up the middle on third and down when we got scholarship running backs in there. You feel me? It's not the offense that best suits us. So I can't really judge the players like I wanted. I would have loved to have K5 out there on a screen or something today, but he done with it. All right, but I feel like if everybody just relax, just know that listen, we're gonna see Jacory Brown. We're gonna see the best he got for the rest of this year, and let him get used to the college tempo. But Tyler's gonna lead us next year with another OC. I can't judge this offense because it looks boo boo. What was that stat, coach? How many yards? Offensive yards?
98.
And Lashley's worst day, he can show up drunk. And I promise you, he can draw something in mud to get us 98. Man, all right, man. All right. I'm not. All right. I'm gonna relax.
Yeah, we just can't seem to put the puzzle together. We just can't put the puzzles together. One time we'll have a good OC, but not the great head coach. We may have a great head coach, no good OC. We may have a great head coach, good OC, but no D. We can't get the listen. If you go back to all my tapes, I talk about process, progress, and continuity, and being fluid. We haven't had that this whole entire season. When we're playing regular Power 5 opponents. If we playing BCC, we look like we world beaters. But when we got to go mano a mano against some of these regular teams, we can't seem to get it done. So we have to have all the pieces in place to make that championship, to make that run, to improve and get better. I understand what you're saying. We can't really evaluate some of the talent we have because they're not getting the opportunity to shine. I agree. But from my standpoint and from coach's standpoint, we have to put the players in the best situation to shine. Bro, let me tell you this. There's no reason why we can't throw a hitch. My thing is sometimes, I know the commentator said this about Clemson. They kind of got pretty. They want to go for the big shot. Sometimes what happened to coach? Take what the defense is giving you until they make you put you in, until they make you change. And we have that. They respect. I don't know why they're playing 7-8 yards back. Just get the ball down the field. It's simple plays, down and outs, quick slants. Those are the plays that last year TBD made to Rambo and Hartley. Remember how many times they crossed the middle, boom, hit them. I don't know why the quarterback's not getting that opportunity to throw those plays consistently every game.
Yeah, listen, I agree, man. And, we got the call on here. People are now talking about, for example, Bergie. I thought Bergie, man, left me. I don't think we friends anymore, Bergie.
What's up, Bergie?
I know you've been busy, man. But he says, Coach, 2 years ago, we talked about James Williams moving inside. And here we are now seeing why he should move inside. He's not good D1 level safety. He becomes a liability out there. Here's what I say about him. I said it before. I had one question about his safety ability. Can he play in man? And they're starting to expose that. They're starting to expose his man coverage skills. I said that a long time ago. This is not a knock on him. I just never saw it. I wanted to see it. And you're starting to see. They're starting to get in with motions and movements and quick outs. And does he have that quick burst ability, that 5-yard burst to catch up when the guy has him? He's an aggressive player. He can play football. That's not the issue. You understand me? I think he has some stuff, some bonehead stuff he does. But at the end of the day, the young man can play. But they're starting to expose that weakness in there. I tell you, these coordinators are super smart. But caller, man, thank you so much for your call. I really appreciate you, man. I ain't even hang up on. He hung up on me. So thank you, man, for that call, man. But I appreciate it out there, man. Here we go. Somebody said Mario has hired the wrong staff. But, man, they were supposed to be the best staff ever. So, hey, real quick, I got to give Wholesome. Listen, 12. Wholesome right now. Wholesome, if you listen, and I know you are. I know you didn't have a chance to see the pregame show, but Wholesome, go check out the pregame show a little bit towards the end, man. I had your folks on there, boy. You got some classy grandparents, brother. They were out there at the classic. We did the classic Wholesome one, man. We'll definitely chop it up on the phone and talk about it. But I did get a chance to see Mr. and Mrs. Holloway from the grandparent side of the deal, man. But and we had a good chop up and talk. But Wholesome says, Coach of V12, we got to lick our wounds and get ready for Pitt. Yeah, I feel you, brother. You know what I mean? Caller, you got 2 minutes on the line. Go ahead.
Wholesome, we've been licking all year.
Uh-oh. Is that the Oracle?
Yeah, this is me.
Talk to us, lady. Go ahead.
Well, number one, we already knew we was not going to win it, but at least we got points on the board. And the thing is this. Everything is coming to pass. You all knew from the beginning, this past spring, that Mario was not around as the coach. He needs to see what process the growing pains, the ones going to stand by him and the ones going to leave them. But a lot of them don't want to leave because they want that youth on their back to graduate. And I told you that. It's not about this team winning right now. It's the one who wants growing pains to graduate. Because at this time, graduation, you got to wear out who's going to graduate and who's going to be more professional for football. But at the same time, these kids want education because at this point, everything has crashed, just like I told you. And at this point, everything's opened up because the money's going to open up. And Miami still the only place has legalized, just like UCS, legalized this money deal. Everybody else waiting on the television deal, and they're not telling you. So these kids are not trying to run anywhere. They want their degree first. So we knew what level we're on, but we also knew what quarterback. But the thing is that they need to have more speed. They got to learn how to put on a big man pants. Yes. You know, they can't pick up the speed with these other players because remember, Manning set them back. They set them back. King set them back.
Yes, ma'am.
They're not going to learn anything. So Mario respected to keep the team together. And y'all got to understand, that's the growing pains come. The process got to come now, but you're going to have so many players coming back. But you're going to have a lot coming to you because why? You're going to be able to have the money. You see the $32 billion of the coins are stolen. I told y'all crypto's going to get stolen. You didn't want to believe that. So at this time, we got to love them.
Yes, ma'am.
Love conquers this pain we're going through. We are going with them. We're not leaving them out. So be thankful that you can see them win 1 or 2 games because we knew we was going to go through this. And I'm out.
By Ms. Wilcox.
The Oracle has spoken. You say the crypto has a lot to do with it. Y'all better check it. FTX then went down the drain. Bankruptcy. That's the Oracle talking. Got to listen. Hey, Coach, I one of the somebody made a comment, and I think it's a great comment. We talk about Gaddis a lot, and from a QB standpoint, who is the quarterback position coach? Is it Gaddis? Is he responsible for QBs?
It's Frank Ponce.
Okay, well, we got to start talking about Ponce too, and that's probably where it's going to have to start too.
Yeah, because remember now he was, everybody talking about they want him to be the new coordinator.
Nah, dog. Nah. I don't know about that. We'll see. Don't talk about me about it. Let's go get a dog, man. Let's go get somebody hungry. Let's go get somebody who done played Madden in the last 5 years.
Friend, dog. He's my friend.
It's all good, but come on. Golly. So that's a good point. So quarterback coach needs to get some heat too, as well. That's a great point. I forgot who said that in the chat. Yeah, he need to get some heat. Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. I agree with that.
All right, caller, talk to us. Oh, here we go. Real quick correction. So it was only 3 receivers. It was Mallory had 4 catches, Young had 4, but they put M. Williams up there, and that's Markeith Williams. He wears number 18 on defense. So they just put the wrong name up there, but it really should be K. Brantley with 1 reception, 1 yard for 1 touchdown. So, yes, we only hit 3 receivers today. 3 receivers had catches. I was confused. I'm like, who is M. Williams? Who is M. Williams? And then I realized he has 18, the same as Khalil Brantley, and the reporters just used the wrong name for the jersey number because he wears 18, just like Khalil Brantley. Caller 786 area code. Talk to us.
Look, Coach, it's Cool from the crib.
Cool from the crib. Talk to me, Cool. Sound a little down, brother.
What's going on, V12?
What's up, Cool? Hey, you got to stay cool down there because down here it's going to, hey, at the end of the season, it's going to be hot in the kitchen. So just stay cool like a polar bear's toenails. Got to stay cool. What's up, my brother? Talk to us, man. Don't let them get you down. It's still you all day. Nothing changed. Still you all day.
Yeah. I'm not down though.
Okay.
But I didn't like how they snatched Shikari out. I think maybe a little too soon. Maybe they should have done it just for that. I mean, there's 2 ways to look at that. They took him out, maybe, yes, to cool him down, true, which I feel as though, I don't know if it was him making the most mistakes as far as the protection and other things like that. But then the flip side of how I look at that, they put Garcia in, and he got an easy 10-yard touchdown. 9 of it was gained by Parrish, and then the 1-yard touchdown was given to Brantley. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think I still think one, like you say about the routes, man. They got to help him out better with the routes. To me, I feel like he he does in his total body of work, do a better job of noticing who the blitzers are. Man, as soon as Jake got in that thing, boy, they hit him from the back. Man, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel bad.
They could do a better job on the route tree, man. And no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're 100% right. And I was just saying to Jakari's defense, I mean, that interception will go down under his name, but I don't think that's his job. His job is to deliver the rock. It just got batted up. It got picked. But for some reason, when Jake comes in, they always catch him slipping, man.
Right, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. And then even when Jakari got hit for the safety, I mean, you got a running back, you got Knighton in there trying to block 2 people.
Yeah.
Come on, man. So it's like, I don't know. Like you say, they got to help them out with the route tree. And like you said, that pick wasn't on him. They knew what play we were running. We do that all the time. They know our playbook. Or excuse me, they've seen a lot of tape on us.
But how can they know our playbook? Hold on, I'm being facetious. But how can they know our playbook if we've been hiding the playbook?
Oh yeah,
because we didn't want nobody to know our plays. Just like Drake was hiding his son from the world, so his son was hiding from the world. Drake. That got body by Pusha T. Drake.
Hey, cool. Oh, yeah. Cool. Cool. I know what you're saying about him being pulled, but I think at that particular point in time, I wasn't opposed to him being pulled because I just thought we needed to do something different. We needed to mix it up a little bit. And if it takes, sometimes it takes throwing in, basically we went into the trick bag. It was desperation. and we had to try to get something going.
Right.
And it, you know, so I don't think it
you're
was
right. And that's why I say the flip side. The
Yeah.
flip side that, you know, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, so no, it's all good. So yeah, to that point, I don't think, you know, he did any worse than Garcia. But I'm just saying, I think that's why they wanted to make a shift, because I mean, let's just kind of be a little bit honest though. He wasn't really accurate today. He missed a couple better throws from Brown and change move. You know, so he did miss, and I'm not sure. I mean, even though Garcia is throwing 5-6 yard passes, it just made it seem like Garcia was a little bit more accurate throwing the ball. But Brown, he just wasn't comfortable today. He missed a lot of good throws that could have been made. I mean, even the one that Mallory caught across the middle, we saw that coming from a mile away in the beginning. He had to reach up to get that and made a spectacular, you know, a pretty decent catch to kind of save us on that play. So, you know, we just got work to do. We got to find us a quarterback in the off season, and hopefully we can, you know, and some coaches.
Yeah.
Well, with V12, I got to rebut that, because the thing is, yes, he did miss a few throws. I think the real one he really missed that was on him was the one to Restrepo. But the others, the out on the sideline to Restrepo, and then the other one that went to the other sideline to Mallory, man, it hit their hand. It hit their hand.
Yeah. As a former receiver, yes, they said you catch, but some of those throws you have to help your receiver. Some of those are easy throws. Right. Those are easy throws, right? Put them on the numbers. I mean, I get what you're saying. I agree. I'm not gonna fight you on that. But what I'm saying to you is, make it easier for the guys to make those catches and then run. Because if a shuttle catch that pass, he's on the ground. You know, so I mean, it's enough blame to go around. I'm just saying, it just seemed, like I said, it seemed as though when Garcia came in from a throwing the ball standpoint, he seemed to be a little bit more accurate when they made that change. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's better. I'm just saying it seemed like it worked out a little better when he came in and we got a touchdown. But it was the defense who created the turnover, and then I think it was Parrish got us down there, and then it was easy from there.
Yeah, man. Well, cool. I got to let you roll, man. I appreciate it. We got a lot more people calling in, but as always, thank you for the support, and I appreciate you, brother.
All right, definitely. Appreciate y'all, brothers, and go Canes.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay. All right, real quick. God, y'all calling hot. Hurricane Millie in the building. Hurricane Millie, I appreciate you. 49er says, Coach, Clemson didn't do nothing but rely on their talent. Those calls were basically on both sides. Now, Hurricane Millie, you know I love you, but that's what you're supposed to do as a football team. If I'm better than you, I rely on my talent. I don't need to be extravagant. I don't need to. Carla, do me a favor, cut your background down just a little bit. I don't need to. You good, baby? I don't need to be extravagant when I don't have to be, right? Like, why make the game more difficult? If I can beat you on fundamental and basic plays and make it look great, then do so. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but I think they put it, man. I reject that. They have talent, but that offensive coordinator in the first half, he called a great game. He had Miami out of position. He had people running free. He called the excellent game. But they scored on every possession that they had, and that's talent. But he also made some really good calls. So I mean,
but he also made it look easy. They made it look easy. They made it look basic.
It was very fluid. Exactly. A lot of movement, a lot of shifting. They look at their formations. They had a lot of different formations they threw at Miami. Absolutely.
And it's funny you say that. What did I say at the beginning of the game? I said in the good, bad, and ugly always. And I said this is something Miami has to do. Formations and motions are a detriment to the defense. What does it do? It creates confusion. It creates, what happened? What is it? And look exactly what happened at the very first play of the game where Restrepo was open, right? Boom, there was a confusion. And guess what? We got open. We just didn't capitalize on it, but that's what it was. I'm trying to get this other $5 I had here from Third Degree. I'm trying to see where it is. It got pushed down Third Degree, so I don't want to miss. Oh, nope. Hold on, Third Degree. I want to give you love, and I'm getting to the caller here in a second. I don't know where it went, Third Degree. But anyway, here we go. I got it. I got it. All right, and here we go. MDB 2006 $4.99. Hold on, go back to that 12. MDB 2006 $4.99. TVD is not a bad QB. Jake wasn't a bad QB. We just have bad coaches leading them. I appreciate that. All that's subjective. And third degree for the $5. I think Mario hired a staff full of recruiters, not enough game day coaches. That's going to hurt us. Ooh, that's an interesting take right there. I definitely want to jump on that. And we got one more from Cash App. My man Bethel for the $5. He says, coaching, in my opinion, sigh. So, caller, you on the line right now. Talk to us. Give us your name, where you calling from.
Hey, Coach, how you doing? You probably seen me in the chat a few times. My name is Pilo.
Okay.
Calling from 305. All right, Coach. I just want to start off by saying, as a diehard Hurricanes fan and a receivers coach, I really have a problem with what I've been seeing throughout this whole year. First of all, you mentioned where was Brashard Smith. I've been watching this whole game and trying to find. Brashard Smith has been my favorite player this whole year. Everybody always saying nobody from last year has gotten better. I feel as though Brashard has gotten better. He just ain't been granted as many opportunities as he should have been. Mm-hmm. That's just how I feel. Secondly, Mallory still can't block. I don't understand why they keep putting him in the block. He's not a blocker. He always causing us. He just always calling us with his poor blocking. Gaddis doesn't seem to have a game plan. Never. I haven't seen a game from him this year that he came into the game and this was a game plan and this is what we're going to stick to from the first quarter to the fourth quarter. I haven't seen it. And It's like he always trying to use these players. Like today, I just felt like he kept trying to use players to bail him out because he just doesn't have a complete game plan. And I don't know. It's just fucking frustrating to watch, man. It's just frustrating to watch. As you pointed out in the good, bad, and ugly, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, the defense always seemed to be unbalanced. I think they heard you on that because ever since you pointed that out, they've been doing better with that.
Got to cut me a check.
James Williams. Say it again, Coach.
I say Miami need to cut your boy a check there.
Yeah, I think they heard you on that because ever since you pointed that out, and that's been a big issue for us. They always seem unbalanced on the defense and the offense. The opposing offenses always seem to capitalize off that. James Williams need to take his ass to linebacker. He's not a safety. It's just been a disgrace to watch this whole year. He's not a bad player, but he's not a safety. He just need to go somewhere else. He's not going to thrive at defensive end because he's not physical enough to be in the trenches. He's not physical. So he just needs to try to go to outside linebacker. I don't know how that's going to work for him. I don't think Corey Couch get enough credit. He's always making plays that always getting overlooked. But I don't really have too much bad to say about the defense. I think the defense done a good job. The problem with this team is we don't have enough developed players this year. As you can see, like when we played the Texas A&Ms, the teams that really considered the big dogs, when you look at our team versus them teams, it look like they have grown men compared to what we have to offer. Like, I don't know, baby, it's just my eyes deceiving me, but we don't look. We always come into these games looking undersized and underdeveloped against opposing teams that considered better teams. It's just like a high school team versus a college team, and today was a prime example of that. On the other, like Jeremiah Trotter looked like a grown ass. He looked like his daddy out there. He looked like a grown ass man compared to these little kids that just came from high school.
I got you.
We just and I don't think that's the player's fault that they ain't been developing. Because as a player, my development is based off of what my coach is giving me, and that's just me being a coach. Like for me being a coach, I develop my players. Like I don't expect them to develop on their own. As far as listening to me go, yeah, but it's my job to make them better. Mm-hmm. Like I just don't see where man, look, this Gaddis shit is pathetic. Gaddis is pathetic. It's pathetic. I don't understand his philosophy. First of all, why are we rotating so much on offense? And what was the package thing going on when you got Jake Garcia with Parrish in the back, and then you got JB with Knighton in the back? What was that supposed to be all about? I don't understand what the hell that package was supposed to be. It didn't work out. I just don't understand the offensive philosophy coming into these games. It never seemed well thought out. It just don't even seem like he putting a really 100% effort into it, and that shit is really frustrating. And this is a disgrace, coach. That's a disgrace, coach.
Yeah, nah, definitely, man. I appreciate it, man. Definitely, man. But yeah, we're gonna move this thing on. But you're 100% right. You got to develop these guys, brother. You have to.
I appreciate the opportunity for
anytime, brother.
Coach.
Keep calling in, man.
Needed the vent.
Go get it. Go get it. T. Hines, you cut it out, and I mean right now. Sometimes we go a little bit over the 2 minute. Hey, Wholesome, I send it to you, man. 12. I know you. If you got to make that jump, go ahead and do so.
For sure.
I'm gonna be out here quick in a second. Wholesome might jump in for a second. Had a chance to meet his grandparents and stuff, man. But 985 right here coming on the line.
Wholesome might jump in for a second.
Caller, do me a favor. Cut your background down just a little bit. We get this thing rocking and rolling. And let me go ahead and put up two. You got 2 minutes, guys. You want to vent? You want to talk? How you want to do it? 2 minutes begins. Go for it.
Is that me?
That's you.
All right, swagger for life from another Cane Sport board. 2 minutes. I'll go as fast as I can. All these fans are fools. The Miami Hurricane fans are fools. This is not a coaching problem. It's a player problem. Manny Diaz left us with garbage. The last caller was right. We look like a high school team. That's because 90% of these players need to go. Go. We had our opportunities today. Josh Gaddis didn't overthrow Xavier Restrepo. He didn't drop the ball that got thrown to Jaleel Skinner, and he didn't get called on the penalty for that happened with Jalen Knighton. Josh Gaddis didn't do all that. That's lack of execution. Stop blaming Josh Gaddis. It ain't his fault. It ain't Mario's fault. They just got here. It's been less than one season. Stop it.
Hey, caller.
They got to get in their players. They got to get in there. They got to get in their players. Mario has to rebuild his offensive line. He's a former offensive lineman. You think he's going to build up an offense that's going to throw the ball 50 times a game? You crazy. Crazy. Give the guys a chance to get their players in here and rebuild this team the way it should be built, the way Mario knows it, a two-time national title champion with the Miami Hurricanes, period.
Can I ask you a question?
Damn coaches.
Can I ask you a question? Okay, let me just say this. I respect the Canes fan. I know sometimes we are a little delusional. I won't call them stupid, but let me just say this. Can it be both? Because I'm going to challenge you on that. Because everybody wants to blame Manny Diaz player, but guess what? Brian Kelly is winning at LSU with other coaches playing.
Brian Kelly
hold on.
Massively better roster of players.
Coach, no. He's a massively better coach. Say it right the first time. He's a massively better coach. Okay. What do you mean no? Check his accolades. Don't tell me no. I know this game. You go check Brian Kelly's accolades. He is a massively better coach. When LSU came in and Florida State roasted him, they left that man for dead. It's about coaching. Leadership starts from the top, brother. Right? So what I'm going to say, it can be both. I'm not going to call the Canes fans stupid. It can be both.
I'm from Louisiana. I'm an hour from Tiger Stadium. After the game against Tennessee, here's what Brian Kelly did. There was a player. I'm going to tell you what happened. There was a players-only meeting. It was a knockdown, drag-out fight in that locker room with the LSU Tigers after the Tennessee game where they got blown out. You know what happened was the receivers started telling Jaden Daniels, throw the damn ball. Stop running the damn ball. Like all these damn fool Miami fans think we can run a single-wing offense and go win a damn national title. Like last week, they were calling Ja'Cory Brown the savior because he had a great game against Georgia Tech. Great. I applaud the young man. Wonderful game against Georgia Tech. But nowhere do you think he's going to walk into Clemson against the top-rated defense and do the damn same thing. Come on, man. Are you crazy?
Hello, I'm going to say this. Coach Hayes was the first one to say, don't crown him just yet. Let him earn.
We said that last week, Coach.
I did. I didn't want to make sure I was put out there. Go ahead. Y'all finish.
Yeah, so I'm just going to say this. They tried to say last week that Brian Kelly, he brought – see, here's the thing. It's a coaching tree, and it's a coaching fraternity. You have to be able to trust your coaches. Brian Kelly brought his offensive coordinator with him. And like I said, it starts from the top. I'm not saying to blame everything on the coaching, but at the end of the day, like my coach, like Coach say, when packages don't get delivered from Amazon, they ain't blaming the driver. They're gonna look at Bezos, right? So when these passes aren't being completed, or we calling timeouts, or the plays are not getting in, or our quarterbacks are unable to pick up blitzes, it has to be you coach me, coach. That's all I'm saying. So I'm not gonna say
freshman and a true freshman trying to get those calls, man.
It's a lot, bro.
But
here's the point. I'm gonna say this guy got to get more callers in. But to your guys' point, listen. But to both of you guys' point, I think both things, like I said, both things can be accurate. Simply, why do I say that? Because there's if you take in totality of all of this, Carla, what's your name?
My name is Rocky.
All right, Rocky. All right, Rocky.
Louisiana.
All right, Rocky from Louisiana. I love it. So here we go, Rocky. There's a thing in totality. The same way you just said that the coach didn't overthrow Restrepo. You're 100% correct. But then how do we come out of a timeout and we're misusing the thing, or we're doing the check me checks and it's taking too long to get the plays in? That's coach. Like, it's so many different things. It's hard to put one finger on it all. That's why I keep saying, let's stop trying to point one finger and let's say everybody, and it's got to be the truth. Everybody has a piece in this debacle. Everybody.
Can I bottle the end though? One more thing and I'll let y'all go.
You got it.
The Rhett Lashley offense, surrounded by this personnel, was built on a patty cake style offensive line blocking scheme. That is not Mario Cristobal. That is not Josh Gaddis. And that has been the one thing I've been harping on all year long to this fan base.
I agree.
That's got to be the one thing driving Mario crazy on the offensive side of the ball.
Totally agree.
Because they both want a power scheme, and that line ain't built for that.
So
go back and watch last week's
Rocky,
film. It's
you're
not
right.
built for
But
that.
Rocky, you're 100% right. But like I just said, I've said this before, when you take over a job, this is football, right? The company has to continue to run as you become the new CEO, as you begin to implement your new ideas. You can't let the company just crash. So there are some things. Hold on, hear me out. Just hear me out. Well, I agree with you with the patty cake offense, as you called it. I agree with that 100%. But your coordinator has to understand this is something we have to do until we can bring our big burly guys in here. But right now, we got to deal with patty cakes because there's a season coming. Or we scrap the season and let that be known and say, hey, we're just going to do this until I can change the whole culture. And that's not going to ever happen. So to the coach's part of it, and Rocky, just hear me out. When you take over a job, right? When you take over a job, let me ask you a question. And again, I don't know what you do for a living, but let's say you own a business or you buy a brand new business. Do you fire everybody the first day you come in? Or do you get people ready to be hired? And then as you got people hired, then you're going to fire Sally out of receptionist's office because you don't like the way she answers the phone, and I'm going to bring Mary in. Or do you fire everybody on the 5th floor until it takes you 3 or 4 weeks to hire 100 more people for the 5th floor? No. You got to deal with these people until you can get your people in. That's my analogy to it. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, your analogy does make sense. And if I'm taking over a new company and it's similar to what's happening this year, this is what they decided to do. Okay. This is an assessment year. That's the other thing that's hard to swallow for the Canes fans, because the next year is going to be this is an assessment year. Next year is going to be ground floor because 30 to 35 players are gone. And that's what I would do if I was taking over that company. And everybody that wasn't cutting it after their assessments or didn't meet my criteria, because I'm the boss. The players aren't the bosses. The players got to do. And look, I am not with this whole thing about like what happened the other day with Thad Franklin. Okay, there was somebody on another show somewhere that said, they're not catering to the players enough, and players get mad on Twitter. You heard what Mario said? Come pick your kid up and get them out of here.
I agree with that.
You're damn right.
That's different. That's
my coach.
Listen, I agree with you, Rocky, 1,000%. If you're not happy, you can do that. That's different. They're deciding to leave. But if you have to play a season and you're talking about changing an entire format, this is the same thing Rich Rod went through when he went to Michigan. Rich Rod tried to bring the spread offense with the red and green wristband, right? And he tried to do it right away. And it backfired on him. And it backfired because he didn't take the big burly guys and pound the ball a little bit more, You understand what I'm saying? Until he could maneuver to get his guys in. And before you could really do that, the stakeholders in this company, who are the fan base and the board of trustees and everybody else, are becoming disgruntled, because when you invest money, when them people put up $100 million, right? It's just like you in the stock market. I don't know, bro. You put up $100. Hold on, you put up $100 million and see that thing dip 50%.
A chance to bring in his studs.
Man, listen.
But in Rocky,
it's not built for Mario.
Rocky,
it's not built for Mario Ball.
Rocky, you're 100% right. Yes, we got to give him time, but in that transition, keyword transition, in the transition, there has to be some give and take as you transition to your guys. As you transition to your guys, you have to not cater, that's the wrong word, but you have to adapt to what you have in the cupboard right now.
I would argue that they have. I mean, if you go down the list of the games, look at where we started. Throw out Bethune and Southern Miss. They came with a physical game plan against Texas A&M. They actually executed that well. We lost that game because of mistakes. Then they didn't show up for Middle Tennessee State. That was just a debacle, total organizational debacle. What happened in North Carolina? They made an adjustment. They came in offensively with the hurry up, quick and go. TVD had a good game that game. Jalen Knighton fumbled that game away. That's what we lost there. Then you come to Duke, TVD gets hurt. Now you're dealing with a redshirt freshman who turned the ball over 8 times. And you got, as a backup, you got a true freshman in Ja'Curry Brown. You come in later on, okay, after you decide Jay Garcia, you pull him because he's not producing. You come in with Ja'Curry and you run the ball like you did at Georgia Tech. But Ja'Curry can't throw. All right. So now he goes up against Clemson and we're screwed there, but you can't be run dimensional against the good teams. You're going to get your butt kicked like we saw today. It's just been a mess.
But here we go. I'm gonna say the last piece. I'm out.
Coach,
4th-1, we run a speed option with a no speed team. That's coaching.
Hey, Rocky.
You call a speed option. This dude, man.
Hey, Rocky, I'm not gonna totally absolve Mario Cristobal because again, this is his team. And like I mentioned earlier, when they left Brian Kelly for dead, he made the adjustments as the head man of LSU to become a competitive football team. Those first couple games, his whole entire hold on. Let me say his whole entire roster.
I'm telling you, that was a knockdown. They told Jaden Daniels in that locker room start throwing the damn ball. They were in his face. I know what happened.
The whole entire roster looked inept those first 2 games when they played FSU. They left Brian Kelly for dead. We cannot absolve Mario Cristobal and what he had going on. Because guess what, Rocky? At the end of the day, Mario has brought some players too with him from Oregon and through the transfer portal. So my point is this. I'm not going to call a Canes fan stupid, but I'm saying it has to be on both ends. I can agree to say, hey, it's coaching and it's also players. But I'm not going to call a Canes fan stupid because they're not stupid. They just may have a high expectations. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, you cannot continue a coaching merry-go-round every year. It just,
nobody asking for his job.
No one's saying that. I never. If you listen to this, is this your first time calling or listening to Rocky? No one on this panel is saying fire Mario. No one is saying fire Mario. We're saying we want to hold Mario accountable. No one's saying fire Mario. We're all saying the same thing.
What I'm hearing and seeing on Twitter is everybody's calling.
Not us. Not us.
Not y'all. No, not y'all. All right.
Okay.
What I'm seeing around social media circles, get rid of coaches, fire coaches. Man, y'all crazy.
I disagree with firing Mario. I disagree with that right now. We need to give Mario I said in the beginning, Mario need to get every shot that Golden had, that Shannon had, that all these other coaches had. We need to give them. He need to have his time. Absolutely.
I agree.
Have his time. 4 or 5 years.
You ate up all the 2 minutes you could, but I literally enjoyed that conversation.
Thank you, Rocky. Good convo.
No, listen, Rocky, on a serious note, I like guys that talk, have conversations, and we can get in depth how to do it, but we got 500 and some people in here. People continue to call, so I want to give them their opportunity as well. But, Rocky, don't be a stranger to this show. Call back in, bro, please.
I'll let you, Rocky.
Okay, love y'all, man. Love y'all.
Hey, Rocky, I'm Rocky. Hey, Rocky, I'm down in Opelousas every now and again, Rocky, in Opelousas. I know your area. Take care, brother.
Man. Come on
all right, there you go. All right, go Tigers.
Yes, sir. All right, great call. I'm gonna cancel the phone line just for a quick minute. I got to get my man Holsom here, but real quick before I do, Shad 1419999. Mario won 21 games at Oregon. His first 2 years with mainly Helfrich players. So why is Manny still being blamed for week 10? And again, that's what I'm saying. We don't fit the narrative, right? Man, hey, Manny just scored me 55 points. How are you calling? I don't have the number up. Listen, Manny just scored me 55 points on my fantasy 12, and I'm whipping your behind. I'm whipping your behind 12.
Yeah, I'm getting crushed.
So with all that being said, let me but they calling in left and right. I'm gonna open the phone lines in 1 second. Let me just get Holsom his chance. I want him to get him to talk, man. But thank you, man, again, Shad, like that. 12, do your thing, baby. I get you.
Hey, Holsom, nice to meet you. We met your grandfather earlier, man. Fantastic. Let me unmute you. Fantastic conversation. I gotta run. Canes fans, hey, I'll see y'all next week. I'll holler at y'all later. Y'all take care.
Love you, man.
I love you, bro. Take care.
All right, brother. Holsom One Holloway in the building. As I told you, I don't know if you saw the segment, but I told your grandfather, I said, you gave us that great quality content.
Yeah, Coach. As soon as I was in the comment section and I saw, you see, we away, so I'm out here decked in the Canes gear. I take off my green and gold and threw on my orange and green. Once that game was over, and we handled business against a big rival, fellow in-state rival. So we handled business. We won that. That game means a lot to a lot of people locally. But I tell you what, Coach, that 12-degree weather, woo, I still got the shivers over here, Coach. I'm still shivering. But yeah, man, as soon as I hop in the chat, I turn my phone off for do not disturb and stuff and see the notification that you're live. And then you was like, y'all met Wilbur T, my grandfather, man. Yeah, man. I told him he got to be careful in his delivery because he had said Florida State representative. I said, Pops, you can't say that. You got to say former state representative. You can't say the Florida and that next to each other. We don't say that around here. We call them Tallahassee. And he bust out laughing. Because he grew up a Canes fan, but that respect runs deep for y'all, that generation and generation before. Y'all got a lot of respect for them. I don't rock with them. But anyway, appreciate you allowing me to come on the show, Coach. I got about 20 minutes to just chop it up with you. I know you're gonna open the phone lines.
I ain't even got that, but the phone lines jumping. Listen, I don't know if can you hear it ringing?
Nah.
It's in my ear going nuts. So right now I'm hanging up on people.
I can stay on with you. Go ahead. I can stay on through a couple phone calls. Go ahead.
I'm still about 13 more minutes. We got a call on right now. I took the phone number down and everything. Y'all boys on it. Call or talk to us. Give us your name, where you calling from, and you got 2 minutes you on with myself and the host one. But before you do, I know I just said that. Hold on. Bangkok Vice, $5. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Wang dong chong.
2 minutes. Go for it, baby.
Yeah, man. I just want to say, Coach, I enjoyed the show.
Thank you.
And I actually was at the game today, and I'm a kind of a good and bad kind of guy. It was good to see Clemson University. It was good to see Memorial Stadium. It was good to get Raising Cane's chicken before the game and after the game. But other than that, that's about all the good I had today. So here's what I'm excited about. I love that call with the two of you and Rocky.
Yeah.
I know Rocky's voice from that other show. We're not going to mention that name because you are dominating sports talk radio when it comes to Canes football, Coach.
I appreciate
You're
it,
kicking
man.
it. You're
I appreciate it.
bro.
What show? Because I love them all, so it don't matter. I'm just excited. What show is it?
I hear you.
I'm saying,
hey,
is he featured on that show, or he just calls in on that show?
I don't know. I just heard the voice before.
Okay, no problem. Go for it. Okay, no problem.
Yeah. But either way, here's my question. I mean, I'm a believer that we are going to have a massive haul, and you guys kind of stole my thunder. You're right. When you take over a business, you've got that first half, that first year. It's an assessment. And people that aren't getting the job done, you put them on a PIP and you get them out. And then you bring your own people in. You just can't go in and fire everybody. So you're 100% right. And that's what we're doing. This is an assessment year. I fell in just like everyone else did. Hell, I live in West Virginia. I got season tickets to Miami, and I went to 3 away games, bro. I fell in, had a blast. It sucks that we're losing. But I also get to see the Canes, which is the number one thing. And here's the thing, too. I know that we got the right coach,
And even over top of that, we got Alonzo Highsmith. And I believe Alonzo has a great recruiting eye. I mean, that's what he's done for like the last, 20, almost 30 years in the NFL?
Sure.
And I want to get your thoughts on Alonzo too, because I think he's not looking at stars like all these other programs. He's going out and he's getting dogs. And that's what we need. We're going to build from the trenches out, and we're going to get speed. So, and I know everyone's jumping on Gaddis. I get it. It's frustrating. I mean, like today, going in there, we are a one-dimensional team with Chakuri in there.
1 minute mark.
We'll see in there.
I already got the time. No, go ahead. Mm-hmm. Finish up.
If we had Garcia in there, we'd still be a one-dimensional team. It'd be more passing. I know it's just we're not there yet. And what it comes down to is this: we want to run the ball to open up the pass. So I think we're going to have almost 40 people in that. We're going to have almost 40 people in that portal. Between the recruiting and portal, we're going to have people leave the program. That's just how it is. Because we're doing the assessment process right now. Even next year is going to be a up the hill battle. Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, but I just want to say that, man. I appreciate that point, man. Thank you for the love. Like I said, I thank you for that. But that's what I was just simply trying to tell Rocky. And I want to have more conversation with guys like that, where we can have conversations, get passionate, get heated about it, talk about it, not call each other out of each other's name. Because I'm like Master P. I don't talk about people on the record, and we make it happen. But I have to say this. This is in a position. This is such a delicate situation. It is not a one-person deal, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I've said that for a long time. You can't just point at one person. You can't just point at two people or one thing. It is not just Josh Gaddis. It is not just James Williams. It is not just Rooster. It is not just Latson or whoever you want. Whoever we decide that fits our narrative. Let's pick on that guy today. It's everything.
Agree.
I say that it's an intervention. Everybody need to go into the auditorium and raise their hand and say, I am a part of the reason this program is in this situation. And that's just what it is. And that's from players to coaches to upper brass and everything else. It is a debacle right now because I've said this before. We are consistently bad.
And by the way,
every week is something different.
In the previous argument about Brian Kelly is a really good coach. You want to know what makes Brian Kelly a real good coach? He's a prick. And you got to be a prick when you're a coach. You got to get the job done. He gets the job done. So
what's your name, Carla?
Atkins. My last name's Atkins.
Atkins. This the H1H, man. Thank you for calling in and supporting Coach Hayes. I think what you brought to the table was amazing. Great viewpoint. I'm gonna keep it short. I also think that it's truly unfair to put Mario Cristobal, and y'all know I'm a big Mario Cristobal guy, in the same conversation with a top 5 coach in Brian Kelly. I mean, Brian Kelly is a way better coach than Mario Cristobal is. It's just that simple. And he's also the offensive coordinator. He's also the quarterback's coach. He's also been to places like Bowling Green and Cincinnati and Notre Dame. And he's coached and developed the one position that matters the most besides left tackle, quarterback. So not going at you, I'm just saying that people are even putting those two in the same sentence. I think Coach Cristobal is a top 20 coach. I think he's a top 5 recruiter. I believe Brian Kelly is a top 5 coach and a top 20 recruiter. So I'll leave it at that.
Interesting point.
Yeah.
Interesting point.
Like I would take Brian Kelly at Miami, but I understand that his viewpoint and the way that he treats players, the way that he talks to players, the way that he doesn't care about people in his program. He let the young man die at Notre Dame who fell out of the coach. Yeah. You know, they tell that story all the time. You know, I started in the film department. They tell that story at the national convention every year. It's literally a thing. He is one of the most hated coaches in all of sports because of that. And he gave no beeps. He didn't go attend the funeral. He didn't pay for it. No, he didn't care. He told that man the video that young man died and he didn't care. So he's not that kind of person. But you have to understand that when it comes to this thing that we call coaching and young men in college football, you got to be able to get on the same page. And when a program has been used to getting away with a lot of things and people are like, I'm coming to Miami on some Will Smith stuff, it's not about, in their viewpoint, they were coming here for the country club stuff. They were coming here for the party and the beautiful women. Now they're coming here and it's, feet on the line at 5:59. The first whistle is at 6 a.m. And they're not used to that. And sometimes they're knuckleheads, they butt heads, and it doesn't really mesh together. And sometimes people get in line and ready to go. But then you could do that. But what happens when, as proverbially, when the bullets start flying? What happens when you start losing it and adversity shows who you really are comes to fruition? And a lot of these young men, they're not here for a rebuild and they don't want to be a part of it and they're not willing to work with you and grind through with you. And so they quit in the middle of practice or they hit the portal after 10 whole weeks instead of just waiting and seeing it through for the rest of the season and see what happens after.
And I'll be honest with you, I'm happy with that. If you're not willing to fight, then get out. Go for it. Get on out. But you made me think of something. Francis, the big LT tackle we got coming in, left tackle coming in. Francis, how do you say his last name? Maganu?
Marigold.
Thank you. He said the perfect thing that I think needs to resonate when he signed, well, not signed, but he committed to Miami. He said he's not thinking about the next 3 to 4 years. He's thinking about the next 50 years. I think that hit right home because Miami, even today, even after the last 20 years of mayhem, what do we have? We still have the best fraternity when it comes to football. No matter where you go to school, when you get out of school, and if you have some money, if you go to the pros, what do you do? And hell, even if you're in the baseball or you're in the NBA, what do? You get a home in South Beach. And then the fraternity's already down here. I mean, he's got it right. So we've got players like that, and I think we've got some young talent on the team. And the question I had earlier about Alonzo, what are your thoughts, gentlemen, about Alonzo and how he's going to really ramp up this off season?
So hold on, I'm gonna do this. Hold some. I'm gonna let you answer, but I'm gonna let you go because we got other callers calling in. So I'm gonna let you go, and then we'll definitely answer that question. All right.
All right, sir.
Thank you,
Peace
man.
out.
I appreciate it, man. Don't be a stranger. Call back, Atkins.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right, Holson, go ahead. You can do that. I'm gonna open up the phone line here for a quick second. I think the number's right here. Right here.
Okay.
Right,
so you want me to answer that Highsmith question?
Yeah, go ahead about the Highsmith. Yeah, Highsmith. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the biggest thing is the tough part, man, to be honest with y'all, is we won't see the benefits of a lot of these things until, 6 months, a year or so out, even from right now. And it's tough, man. You got Tallahassee fans in here talking crazy. You got Clemson fans. Guess what? Tallahassee is 3 years ahead in building their program, and they're reaping the benefits of staying with somebody and building with somebody. And they're doing solid things. That's good for them. Clemson is 8 to 12 years ahead of Miami as far as being in a program that has everything in order. And yeah, they lose some games, but they can keep going. We're not that. We just aren't. We aren't all together yet. Everything isn't a well-oiled machine. And we're years away from that being there. And as far as the Highsmith thing, his evaluation of young men now, I'm a little nervous as far as them being a little too hard early on because you can rub people the wrong way and then make them push away from it. But on the flip side, you could say, well, maybe we don't want that kind of young man in our program anyway. So Highsmith evaluating for the pros, and then now him evaluating high school young men and trying to transition them into college can be tough. But he also was evaluating college to see if they were good enough for the pros. So, he's been doing it for a long time and evaluating people, not just players, but people, and meeting with their parents and seeing what kind of young men they are and the way that they act, the way that they're treated, the way they treat the janitors, the way they, there's a young man that we stopped recruiting because they did a deep dive into who he was and come to find out they don't want that kind of young man in our locker room. So I'll just leave it at that, Coach. I know you've been going ripping and running for a little bit.
You good. You good. Real quick, I'm going to say this. I got a call on the line. So we talk about this. UNC is losing to Georgia Tech 21-17 with 8 minutes left in the game.
But it shows, Coach, you just never know.
But the problem is never know with us all the we inconsistently bad, meaning when I say inconsistent, I'm talking about what's bad, it changes every week. That's what's inconsistent. But then we're consistently bad, meaning anyway. Long story short, I'm gonna go through that. We got a call on the line. We got 904, but I'm gonna be a little messy. Hold on. I think I missed a dono. I got chill right here, 189. Kelly will be a top 5 recruit at LSU. And I think I missed a dono earlier. Lord, if I missed it, I forgot. Let me go. Highly favored 305 189. I got rent money for one night. Shut up. I know who that is. Lord have mercy. I wish I would have missed that. That boy, that's stupid, man. Oh man. Hey, with friends like that who need enemies, boy. All right. I'm gonna be a little messy, caller. You on the line right now?
Yeah.
All right. Who's this calling right quick? Who's this?
This Charles calling from Jacksonville.
All right, Charles from Jacksonville. Hold some. I'm gonna be messy. I'm gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna call it what it is. Thad Franklin walks out of practice for what reason?
We don't know. Oh. He walked out of practice. Allegedly, he walked out of practice because Donald Chaney Jr. was put ahead of him in reps. Off injury.
Stop right there. Caller, would you agree with that?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
I was saying, why did Thad Franklin walk out of practice this week?
Oh, they said he wasn't getting no playing time because the other running backs was getting more PT than him.
Because Don Chaney off of injury comes in and gets reps before him.
Oh, yeah. Because Chaney came back and he started getting first team reps and he thought it was unfair.
And here's the sad part. Don Chaney didn't get one carry today. I'm finna get messy. Y'all ready? I told you it's a dirty game. These coaches will make it unbearable for you. Was that part of the plan? To make you walk off instead of me having to put you off? Because let me tell you something. I'm telling you, I'm forgetting. In the words of Brandon Marshall, I'm finna get messy.
Uh-oh.
Messy.
Uh-oh.
We got to call it what it is. You put a young man in front of another young man who's been here. I don't know. We all speculate on how it went because none of us had practice like that unless you, and these practices have been coached from my understanding. So talk to me, Holson. You put this young man in front of him. Come to the game, he don't get any reps at all. But yet this kid dips because you know you might be playing on the emotions of an 18-year-old. And so therefore, who looks like the bad guy? Who looks like the bad guy in this situation?
Thad Franklin, yeah.
Thad Franklin does. I'm just calling a spade a spade. Thad Franklin looks like a bad guy in this situation. He walked out of practice, and like Rocky said, that's my coach. If your players, they come pick him up. But y'all better know these mind games they be playing with these kids, boy.
I think you got a valid point, Coach. I guess my only rebuttal back to that would be,
I'm not rebutting. This is just a scenario. I'm not saying that's what happened. I was just saying it's interesting to see a kid who's already on the ledge. You put a kid in front of him, that's like blowing wind at his back. To get him to tip over the edge. Now, when he walks out, guess what? It's easy to kick him off the team. You want him to walk out. I don't want you here no way.
Yeah, and I would say this, Coach. I mean, there's another guy out there that put the scenario out there saying that he, in his opinion, he feels like maybe young men are walking out of practices because they're tired of Coach Cristobal's bullshit. I mean, that's fine if he wants to have that viewpoint. It's fine for you to have yours because we won't know. I mean, nobody unless you pulling out the Bud Lights and make sure no recording is around. Ain't nobody gonna tell you the truth on that staff or from the young men to you. You know, they're not gonna tell you the truth because it's emotional on both sides. But you bring up a valid point as far as there could be another side to this. And that's why I feel like it's always good to err on the caution as far as us who have shows and things of that nature. I view walking out of practice as quitting. That's the way I would look at it. But
it is.
You know,
it is.
I'm not saying he is a quitter. I'm just saying that at that moment he quit on his team.
I totally agree. I'm gonna get this call in, host. I'm sorry because I gotta run. Man, it's Florida Classic weekend. Coach up in the house talking about the Canes, but Coach trying to go wrangle a rattlesnake. If you understand what I'm saying. So anyway, and see what them battle cats look like. Anyway, I just put it out there so people can call me crazy on Twitter or whatever they're gonna do.
You know
I'm
they're
not-
gonna screen record that, Coach. You know it.
Oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But I just want to be a little messy, as they said, because I'm just saying, you do that, you get that kind of reaction. Because remember, I said, you know the kind of players you have. You know who's reactionary. You know the dudes that like to pop off and talk trash. You know the blah blah blah. And so I said that to say, then this dude don't even get a carry. Not one. So I'm gonna go to the caller. E. Brown for the $20. Says Coach Mark Rick said we have no speed, talent, etc. He changed the culture a little until Manny had an unfortunate illness sidetracked his effort. Manny perpetuated the current environment. UM fans ignored the signs. Thank you for the $20, E. Brown. I appreciate it. Caller, thank you for being patient on the phone and waiting, man. We had a lot going on. Caller, talk to us. Give us your name, where you calling from. You the last one for the night. Coach got to rock and roll, man.
Yeah, my name's Charleston Jacksonville. I'm going to try to speak as quickly as possible. I know I only got a minute. I want to thank you and H1H because there's a lot of hurricane shows, and y'all really probably the two realists that don't try to appease listeners, but just really be honest, call a spade a spade. You know what I'm saying? I really wanted to catch that Rocky dude from Louisiana because I ain't no pessimist, but he's talking about we just need to listen to the coaches and it's the players' fault. Well, does he realize that we lost to Duke, Middle Tennessee State, and North Carolina, and we got top 20 classes on average? All of these schools we lost to, they ain't nowhere near the top 20.
Come on.
Go with FSU if you really want me to, because they ain't been recruiting that good either. So he's talking about we got to blame it on the players. Another thing I want people to think about. TBD came into this year as a Heisman candidate. Okay, Jay Garcia played so well last year. People were calling for him to be the starting quarterback. I want y'all to think about this for a second.
Come on. I like this caller.
Keyshawn
Come on,
Smith.
somebody.
Brashard Smith, Keyshawn Smith, Parrish, Knighton, Kobe, Lanson, Xavier just came back. Mallory, the other freshman tight end, TVD. What do you think Lane Kiffin would do with those players that I just named right there?
That's a valid
Lane
point.
Kiffin has 25 points a game. All that speed, and this dude Gaddis want to run all these power, all these like all these I formation. We got speed for. I'm gonna repeat: Brashard Smith, Keyshawn Smith, Parrish, Knighton, Kobe, Ladson, Xavier, Mallory. We got the other freshman Titan. We got TVD. We got all these dudes just regressed. All these dudes sorry right now. It's ridiculous. And the last thing that I'm gonna say is nobody's talking about Steele, but people need to throw him a little bit in. Not even a little bit. This dude does no kind of adjustments at all. They go into the game. He does like a couple, but it's vanilla. Slants was open all day long. The players out of position. I listened to you, H1H, and last week, Coach Hayes, when you went off on against FSU, when they was running to the weak side, it was open all game. It reminded me of when Matt Brown ran on Manny for like 500-600 yards. It was the same plays over and over. Still ain't doing nothing about it. And that ain't got nothing to do with the players. You could tell a good coach because, like you always say, they put the players in position, but also the defender is always near the ball. So it's like because the coach is coaching them and to be in position. So even if the running back or the receiver is open, somebody's nearby. When you look at the Canes, you got people not even 5 yards close. You can't tell me that's on the players because they ain't the ones calling the plays on defense and on offense.
Cane juice biting,
I'm like that. I'm sorry, go ahead.
You said cane juice biting.
I say that cane juice biting now.
Listen,
it's just y'all telling the truth, man. And it's like y'all shouldn't have to be, and y'all not. I appreciate y'all, but people shouldn't have to look at their eyes and see bad, and then try to tell the fans that we tripping that it ain't the coaches, it's the players. These players, whatever they in, bump run, which I ain't see no game which is why the slant was open all day. If they in zone, if they in blitz, they not calling these plays. These plays is being called from the coaches. If Gaddis want to run it through the tackle every single play, and you got Parrish and some of the fastest dudes out on the field, but you want to run it through the tackle like we got Najee Harris or whatever that dude was that played at Bama. Like, I get you want to incorporate your offense, but you got to know the pieces that you got. And the last thing I'm gonna say is I feel bad for the players because coaches like these cost players millions. You know, like TVD just went from a first, second round pick to now probably is gonna be on somebody's practice squad unless he goes somewhere else and gets back his reputation like Cam Newton did when he left Florida.
That's
But
okay. Just going over to SMU. He'll be just fine.
And that's it, man. That's
Hey, appreciate you, man. Thank you for the call.
We should have got the coach.
You said Lane
I
got
was
to listen.
saying thank you for the call. We gonna respond once you're done with your final point. And
No,
we'll
I'm done.
respond.
I'm done. I just want you guys to keep strong, man, and just call it how y'all see it. Like, there's cats are like us that watch football, know football, and we know what we see. We're not dumb. All right? So y'all keep doing what y'all doing. Y'all do an excellent job. It's only a few of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Even last time I said, what's the guy's name that go on Paul Scoop show? Mayweather, what's his name? He played
Merriweather.
He said the same thing y'all. Yeah, man. He said the same thing y'all say. Everybody who really know football is biting their tongue, but call it how it is, man. The team is what it is, man. We still the only person I got all the faith for in that building is the GM dude. What's his name? From Cleveland.
Alonzo Highsmith.
Alonzo. Because of Alonzo, and I know Ed Reed and Jason Taylor and all them there, but I don't know how much power they got. But because Alonzo was in that building, I believe it's going to turn around. If Alonzo wasn't in that building, I'd have no faith in this. But because Alonzo, I believe that whatchamacallit is going to listen, and they're going to put it together. That's the one that I got all the faith for in that building right there. That dude right there. Y'all have a good night, brothers. Be blessed.
All right,
Brother,
now
I
be
appreciate
blessed,
you.
man.
That's the last caller. Listen, Rocky, I would love to put you. God, dog. This Rocky calling right now. I know this Rocky.
All right, now be blessed, man.
Rocky, I know it's you, Rocky.
Man, yeah, you damn right it's me. I'm fired up too.
Hold on, Rocky, real quick.
Rocky,
let me do some house clean. We got 481 in the building. Guys, hit the like, ladies. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Because this finna be some fireworks. Coach trying to go out and cut a rug out here. Instead, I went to the tailgate for the Florida Classic. I'm finally home this weekend. I want to get out the house. I said I was gonna be in the streets by 9 o'clock. It's already 8:42, and I'm sitting here with just a shirt on. Y'all gotta talk to me, Rocky. Go ahead, baby.
Look. All of these fans that are saying that Mario Cristobal is too hard on the kids, man, screw that. You think Kirby Smart or Nick Saban or any of these players are going to coddle these kids the way Manny Diaz did the past 4 years? That's garbage. Dad Franklin walking out on the team, he quit on his team, period. Mario Cristobal gets hired, starts to instill a new culture like we all have been begging for the past decade. It finally happens, and now we got fans complaining because they too hard on the kids. Man, screw that. The kids need to be disciplined. That's what this team has needed for years. It did not take. I'm telling you, Cristobal got caught with his pants down. They thought they could instill the culture at the beginning of the year, and there's been a revolt inside the locker room. That's what I think has been going on all year. And that's why you're going to see the purge of 30 to 35 players. Now, it's Mario Cristobal's fault. He's being too hard on these kids. They're tired of his bullshit. You know what? They can pack their bags and leave because Mario Cristobal got 2 national championship rings. Mario Cristobal played under Jimmy Johnson. Mario Cristobal played under Dennis Erickson. He knows what it takes to win. He knows the formula. Manny Diaz, his dad was a fucking politician. And the dude got hired because his dad knew people in Miami, was the mayor. And Blake James was a piece of garbage. The biggest freaking piece of garbage the athletic director Miami's ever had. Okay? That's what's up. And I'm sick of this crap, man. Damn. Mario Cristobal is going to instill the culture we need in Miami to bring us back to being a championship program. End of story. It's going to take him a while because this program is so damn screwed up right now with the personalities on that damn roster. that it needs to be purged. Somebody in your chat said we can't stop a running QB. Kevin Steele can't stop a running QB.
My bad.
I mean, Kevin Steele 65 years old. He got Corey Flagg as a middle linebacker.
All right,
5'11", 200 pounds.
Here's my question. Since we standing at the table that I've been asking for, and y'all ain't gonna let Coach go out and shake a dead leg. So here we go. Now here we go. We want to call a spade, right, Rocky?
Uh-oh.
Call a spade.
All right, here we go. You said purge the team. God damn it, let's go. What's the first name? Who the first kid got to be purged? Call it name. Say, hey, in the words of hold on. In the words of wait a minute. In the words of Tupac, say his name. A real lot by the name of Haitian Jack.
Corey Couch. Corey Couch needs to go. Corey Flagg needs to go. John Campbell needs to go. Let's see. Let me help out on who's the other guys in the offensive line.
No, don't stutter now. You're supposed to have these names. You're supposed to have these names ready. If you come in as a CEO, like you said, hey, Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike, pack your junk and get out the door. I want to know these names. Come on.
Henry Paris.
Don't ask me. I get kicked off YouTube. Don't ask me.
Hold on. Knighton can go. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Kobe George can go. Keyshawn Smith can go. Will Mallory's leaving. Dominic Mammarelli can go. Khalil Brantley can go. Let's see. James Williams. James Williams is on the fence with me. You keep Cam. You keep Cam Kitchens. Cam Kitchens is a baller. That's a dog. All right. Let's see. The other corner, Tariq Stevenson. Tariq Stevenson got one more year. I guess he's solid. You let him stay. You got there. I mean, the defensive line got rebuilt this past year in the portal with Daryl Jackson.
Don't care if they got rebuilt. Who can go?
Taylor, you keep.
Who can go?
Hold on. Leonard Taylor, you keep.
Uh-huh.
Leonard Taylor, you keep. You keep Messador. I mean, they're going to be there anyway. They can't go anywhere because they got the transfer portal. Caleb Johnson's the same way. You can't go anywhere because that's going to be a year out. But the rest of this roster that's sitting out there on that sideline.
No. I don't need the rest of the roster. I want to know their names. Call it. I'm writing it down. Come on, Rocky. You want to run up them stairs and throw your hands up. Let's go.
Is gone. Jay Garcia is gone. Peyton Matoka is gone.
I don't care about no Matoka. Go ahead.
TVD, I'd like to see TVD actually stay. I would like to see TVD stick it out and let Mario build a real offensive line around him instead of that trash that Lashley had. But look, the offensive line is my biggest problem. That's my biggest beef. Ja'Kai Clark, he can go.
Wait a minute. Wait. No.
Let him talk. I want to ease this noose around that neck because I'm gonna blow that right off the cliff. Come on with it, Rocky.
I went through the whole starting lineup. I think who did I miss? Colby Young can stay. Rashard Smith can stay. Xavier Restrepo can stay. Right tackle. Who's the right tackle?
Lamar. Scaife.
Lamar was playing for the freshman. He gets in. Nez Cooper can stay. Nez Cooper's going to be a monster. That's a building block. He can stay.
So now that you've completed, now that you had the locker room is completely empty,
the whole starting lineup
exactly.
on both sides of the ball.
So now that so now that the locker room is completely empty, okay, you want to replace them with who? See, I'm always listen. Whoa, because this is what I was trying to tell people. I love people that present problems, but you also got to come with a potential solution. So the same people that you want to get rid of, I need you to go throughout this NCAA roster of all 132 schools, find out who's going to be where, and say, hey, coach, if I'm going to get rid of Scaife, we need to replace him with John Doe. If I'm going to replace, because see, that, and I know it sounds unfair, but that's what happens. Because now when he comes in, guess what's going to happen? We don't have no skin in the game. We want to say, this guy sucks. Nah, come up with a potential solution to the problems in which we observe. If you have an observation about a problem, you must present a potential solution. We want to get rid of Flagg. I ain't got no problem. If you want to get rid of Flagg, who are you going to replace him with? Malik Bryant, the true red shirt freshman from Jones High School? Cool. But you know the growing pains that young man finna go through here?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, No problem. You know what Butch Davis had to go through when he came back from the Pell Grant scandal? I mean, you were here. You know.
Now, you know what I'm finna do,
I
right?
mean, look at
Hold
that.
on, hold on.
Look.
Hold on. You know what I'm finna
This
do now,
before.
Rocky? When people come up with that old school, this is what I tell them. You ready?
Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again.
Every time we talk about back in the days, I'm gonna hit you with the.
Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again.
Because back in the days, there was no transfer portal. There was no easy fix. You had to deal with those kids. Because if they left, you weren't going to replace them like it was.
Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again.
All I'm telling you is you got to be able to coach. Let's stop putting bullets on Band-Aids on bullet wounds.
No, Royal can stay too, by the way. Trevante Citizen's going to be a beast. Too bad he got hurt.
How do you know?
He'd be starting
Stop.
right now.
Stop.
He'd
That's
be
the
starting.
Rocky. That's the problem too. Y'all crown these kids too fast. Trevante Citizen's, hold on. Trevante Citizen's gonna be a beast, and you ain't seen him play yet. Everybody said that about Thad Franklin. Now y'all want to throw him to the Wolves. Everybody said that about Jalen Knight. Y'all want to throw him to the Wolves. TVD was a Heisman Trophy winner. Throw him to the Wolves. Jake Garcia came out there and threw the ball. I swear to God, y'all was gonna wash the boy cleats off like he was Jesus. Now y'all want to throw him to the Wolves. Ja'Cory Brown played last week. Because we talking about fan bases. Last week, and I'm the first one to say, let's not crown him. Let him earn his stripes.
Hold on. I'm right there with you. I was the one screaming at the fan base that wanted to start him next year.
I'm going with everybody. I'm the first one to tell people right now, and I'm gonna say I'm the first. I'm like Soldier Boy. I was the first one, whether I was or not. I'm the first. I'm the first one to tell people let him earn his stripes instead of crowning him. You don't walk into the military and become a general. You have to earn your stripes. Let him earn his stripes. Now look at him today. They ready. People right now ready to get that dude out of here.
You ain't gonna let me win.
No. But to my point. No, but to my point, Rocky.
Say it another way.
No. Don't say. No, I got what you're saying, Rocky. What I'm trying to tell you, what I'm telling you, and the rest of the fan base is, if you purge, because that's the new trigger term. Now we got to purge the roster. You gonna play a game in August of 2023, and when you play that game in August of 2023, I want to hear. I'm gonna put a board up right here with all the excuses people make.
You know what my expected record next year after this purge happens to be next year?
6-6.
Ain't much, not much. 6-6, not much better than this year.
Exactly.
You know why? We're gonna be a young son of a gun football team. We're gonna be young in a lot of spots, and it ain't gonna be much prettier. It ain't gonna be much. I mean, yeah, the transfer portal, but the transfer portal. I mean, we see with the defensive line. I mean, even that takes time.
Rocky, would you lie to me?
Well.
Rocky, would you lie to me?
Would I lie to you?
Yeah.
Depends on the question.
So that means you'll lie to me.
No. Go ahead.
Right. Here's my question to you, brother. What was your record expectation for this year?
Georgia Tech got him?
7-5.
Was your record expectation this year?
100%.
Okay.
7-5.
Who were the 5 losses to?
Clemson, Florida State, North Carolina. I didn't expect to lose to Middle Tennessee. I didn't expect to lose to Duke. Who else was on our? I got me killing me. I got to go back. A&M. A&M was a loss. Is that 4?
And Pitt, because that's 4.
I had picked one of the Pitt, Duke, UNC. I don't think it was Duke. I think Pitt, UNC. I had picked one of those is where the 5th loss. But it's 7-5, Coach. And I screamed at everybody. Called me, 10 wins.
No, that's hallucinating. So can you tell me? Why do we lose the Middle Tennessee game? Since you didn't expect that, why did we lose the Middle Tennessee game?
Because they implemented a system that they thought would take with this personnel of players, and it didn't. After that Texas A&M game, and you could see it in one of the interviews, I can't remember which game it was, either Bethune-Cookman or Southern Miss. Mario Cristobal came on an interview, and I'm on another site, subscriber to another site that does, you see all the interviews and all that, King Sports site.
Yeah.
The look on his face, or it was one of those games, the look on his face when one of those reporters asked him, how's the team doing there was a comment he made really early on about these players aren't used to this. And then he kind of stopped and he said, the type of work that we're doing, and he kind of mumbled a little bit, but he stumbled his way through it and he got through it. Is that right? And I wish I could bring up that interview, but right there, you could tell that something was off.
Mm-hmm.
Something was off. They go to Texas A&M, they execute, to me, great. They just made too many mistakes. Tariq Stevenson with the muff punt, the third down incompletion with Henry Parrish, and then the Jalen Knighton run where if he cuts the other way, he scores. Man, that's a different stuff. He got a real shot in that game. But
so stop right there. Hold on, stop right there. So do you blame culture for that, or that just kids making a mistake?
No, I don't blame culture for the Texas A&M game. Where I blame culture is the Middle Tennessee State game after the Texas A&M game. That's where right there.
That's valid.
Do you know why we lost Texas A&M? I mean, why we lost Middle Tennessee?
Say again?
You know why we lost to Middle Tennessee?
I think my opinion is I think we were whipped.
No, we weren't. Can I be honest?
That's my opinion.
They didn't whip us.
No. I don't think they whipped us. I think we were whipped. The Miami Hurricanes were whipped. Emotionally, I think we were spent physically. I think Mario implemented a practice system that these guys weren't used to. Okay? That's why a lot of
I disagree.
A lot of the injuries.
Big plays.
Go ahead.
Big play.
Go ahead.
The very first play, we throw an interception on the 5 and we give up 3 points. The next drive, we throw a pick 6 off a tip ball, off of the little dump pass. That's 10 points out the gate. Defensively, we gave
points.
No, 10, because one was a field goal, the other one was a touchdown.
Yeah,
so that
right.
was 10.
10, you're right.
Then we gave up 5 big plays on defense that resulted pretty much, if not a touchdown, put them on the 1, that kind of thing, where they just pretty much just got to walk it in. But if you go look at the play-by-play, 3 and out, 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 3 and out. There were big plays. Now, here's my question. You go look at why were they big plays. It's back to my coaching thing. I don't think it had to do with a lack of heart. Maybe a lack of communication in there where the guy run the field. There also had to be a lack of ability, right? For example, I keep talking about the 3-legged horse in the Kentucky Derby. If you know that cat over there got fire coming off his cleats and you want to still call press man, that's like my big behind going out there trying to cover Antonio Brown right now and press man. In theory, it works. But the reality is this dude got fire coming off his cleats. And here's why I say coaching comes in. Week after week after week after week, we see the same thing. And that is why you don't like Ivy. Because you keep putting him in press man. He ain't doing that because he's not doing that because I'm Ivy and I want to play press man. That's the call. But week after week, press conference after press conference, behind that podium, it is my responsibility to get it fixed. But we come right back around, press man. Dude taking off and gone. See, this is why I say it's both ways, Rocky. It's players and it's coaches. Why we continue to put the Seabiscuit in the doggone Kentucky Derby, racing against Man of War.
Okay, I'll give that to you. In regards to the Middle Tennessee State game, that particular game, I guess we can agree a bit and we can agree to disagree a bit. I saw a team that just came out. We've seen it so many years with some of these games. They come out just flat, lethargic, no energy, and that was the game. That game was the game that I didn't see it for Middle Tennessee State before the season started. Nobody did, but that was the game right there that just said to me in my mind, this is the same crap all over again. And it could have been Middle Tennessee State. It could have been Albany State. It could have been, whoever, Colonel Sanders State. But that game was the one that said, kind of in my mind, boy, here we go again with this. And I hear you on the calls, and I'll give you all that. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But there was something missing in that game that was just I saw that was just said, here, oh gosh, here we go again with this just lack of energy that this team seems to have displayed. And I'm sorry. You can disagree with me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Everybody's free to have their own opinion.
Sure.
I think that this team and what Cristobal and Mirabal, and especially offensively, and Gaddis tried to implement into this team, they tried it. It didn't take. By the middle of the season, by the Duke game, UNC game, they had to scramble, which they did. They adjusted because after the minute to the sea, if you go to North Carolina and you look at the play-by-play, they went back to the hurry-up stuff. And it worked. It really worked. Like I said, Jalen Knighton fumbled the North Carolina game away.
And then look at this. Georgia Tech beats them today, 21-17.
Yeah, unreal. I mean,
but again, look at Tennessee halftime. South Carolina got 35-24. Like, football is so unpredictable. It's hard. Like I say, I mean, bro, Tennessee, this dude up for the Heisman. This cat didn't beat Alabama. South Carolina was a joke in the SEC. And like, it's football. But listen, I got to get out of here. Go ahead.
It's crazy. But one more thing. Let me one more thing. Look, I never liked. Look, this is with my heart. I never liked Diaz from Miami. I'm not a Manny Diaz fan. I couldn't stand. Look, the Red Lashley system to me does not work for championship football. Mm-hmm. What Mario wants to implement at Miami, and he can't do it yet, but what he wants to do is championship football. It's run at Georgia. It's run at Alabama. Alabama does not run a Red Lashley spread system. I'm sorry, guys, he doesn't. That the Red Lashley style is a gimmick offense.
I get it, right? It's like the air raid deal. It doesn't really. It's exciting.
It's like Leach.
Bro, it's no different than even Chip Kelly, right? Chip Kelly got all that stuff. They had Mariota. I'm gonna say this last piece, and I'm gonna be done. And I'm gonna get the 6, 7, 8. J Dub, I hear you calling. I'm gonna get you in, J Dub. I promise, I got you. Only thing that I'm saying, and I think the only part that we kind of disagree on is T. Hines say the party don't start till I get there. Well, doggone it, I'm gonna be tomorrow. Here's the problem. Here's what I'm still stand by this. In today's football, that 5-year window, see, we got to stop looking at things through our.
Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore, but some days I sit and wish I was a kid again.
We got to stop looking through those lenses. This is different. And all I'm saying, if you are an effective coach, you can take the players on the current roster. And I always talk about the anaconda approach where you slowly squeezing them out and they don't even realize it. Or you go in there like John Henry and swing your big hammer, you understand me, and knock everybody out. But then what do you have left? And what you're doing is just what I'm talking about, which is fine if you want to do that. But you also have to be willing, and the fan base has to be willing to be patient for another 2 or 3 years of winning no game, of being hold on. Of being 6-6 now.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Or
100%.
Or you can win some games and see growth. For example, let's take a Tennessee. Josh Heupel goes in there. Tennessee has been bad for a long time. He sees some talent. He brings some pieces in from the portal. He goes get Hendon Hooker out the portal. And last year, even though they were 7-6, you could see with Jeremy Pruitt's players, you could see where the program was heading. Doesn't mean it was there, but at 7-6, you could see. You know how you mold clay? It's just a lump of clay, but you could kind of see the figure of the woman that this guy's molding. You don't know it's going to be beautiful or not, but you know it's a figure of a lady. You can see that. The problem here, we don't know what in the world we're getting. We don't know if we're getting a dump truck or we getting a Holly Berry in this sculpture. And that's the problem, bro. And now if you're talking about going there with an axe and cut everybody, we don't know if we're getting a dump truck of Holly Berry for another 3 years.
Well, I guess my rebuttal to that is, look, again, my opinion.
Yeah, sure.
It's what needs to be done. And this is where I go off the rails with I trust this coaching staff to get it done, because like Mario said, these guys didn't forget how to coach yesterday.
I totally agree with that.
I just do.
I totally agree with that. And that's why I say it's both. It's not that you didn't coach. It's the fact that, are you coaching together? Is the chemistry right? Are y'all understanding the players? It's so many variables to this game, bro. So many variables. But listen, I gotta go. I gotta give J-Dub his time. But Rocky, you're gonna be a regular on this thing in a minute, man. I love it, man.
Hey, man, I'm coming, man. I love you too.
Let's
Thanks,
do it,
Coach
bro.
Hayes. I appreciate the time tonight. Thank you, sir.
Anytime, brother. Anytime.
Bye-bye.
Why not? All right, let me get this call. Let me call J-Dub. I gotta get out of here, man. Y'all, man. All right, that's him right here calling. Perfect. J-Dub, it's you? Please tell me.
Yeah, that's me.
What's up with you, man? Appreciate you, man, being patient. We're gonna get you in, get you out, get you going. What's up?
Oh man, you already know I'm on the cane juice, so that's why I was calling a little bit.
Yeah. You
Hey
good?
man, hey, nah, I was trying to catch you. Hostin was on the phone, was online because I think his grandparents might know my parents.
Okay.
You know, all Cookman alumni. I got 1 year at Cookman. But outside of that, 2 points.
Yeah.
One, you wasn't messy because, and I'm going back to and referring to
Thad Franklin.
Coach and Thad Franklin. If these kids ain't careful, they're going to get tricked out of their scholarships.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say it again. If these kids ain't careful, they're going to get tricked out of their scholarships. And if they know anything, if they're paying attention, the portal is at an all-time high of how many of these kids are just sitting there. Been sitting there for over a year, don't have nowhere else to go. Just because you're at the University of Miami doesn't mean that you're going to get picked up automatically when you go to a portal. Maybe the young ones might get picked up who was 4 stars, but you see what happened with the receiver, one of our receivers last year, the one who was said to be transferring to Jackson State.
Pope.
I don't know Pope. I don't know the situation why he never went there or whatever, but you see he didn't get picked up anywhere at the same time. You know, a high top school didn't call off the rip. And so, because he had film on him, and I just whatever. So, and then the second point, so you got me. I'm all thought it was you and old boy who just got off the phone. Y'all was making a point. Oh, depth. We don't have the depth.
No.
If you get rid of all them kids that he got rid of the whole roster, we won't have the depth at all. But I feel even next year, we're going to be depleted. Transfer portal kind of changed that, but even next year, we're going to be depleted because, okay, we're going to be depending on these young freshmen coming in. They may get a lot of playing time already. The portal may help with that at some point, but who's going to back up them? We don't have the depth yet. It's going to take 2-3 years for our depth to get built up. And that's it, man. The main thing was the depth and these kids who want to play around that transfer portal and mess around and get stuck. And, you know, the main thing is education first. You know how we are, you know, parents and school boards and this and that. So that's how it goes, man. That's it, bro.
I got you. I appreciate it, man, as always. Also, I spoke to that gentleman, and if it's not working, I'm going to do something different for y'all cats. I spoke to everybody else as well. That was just a bad deal, but I'll definitely talk to you about that, man, as well. That kind of teed me off a little bit, but I appreciate you keeping me on game with that, man.
Yeah, you know, that ain't no pressure. You ain't got to go out your way about that.
Yeah, I'm going to because it is what it is. But and that's being business. That's being business, man, regardless of the relationship or the fact. But I appreciate you though, man. And they were talking about Pope. He is at Jackson State, but I know what you were saying. You were trying to say that because you go in the portal, you thought he may go to a bigger school and he ended up at Jackson State. Is that what you were saying?
Right. But if you look at how many kids that's in the portal and how long they've been sitting in the portal, these kids have missed out a year of their life in the portal where they could have been in college. Now they could have been a sophomore, or junior, or senior, wherever else they could if they would have stayed in school. And because look at it, you're talking about $100,000 per year or whatever, how much these schools cost. This is money. I'm paying back loans now. Your homeboy always talk about. We always have that conversation all the time. We paying back loans now. You get what I'm saying?
Sure
We talking about free education, life. There's life outside of football, and you got to be able to learn how to maneuver. If you know you that dude, it's okay to take that chance, but just know what you're doing when you take that chance. Make sure your parents know it. Hopefully the parents understand what they're doing, what you're doing when you take that chance. Because if I'm a parent and you jump in the transfer portal without me knowing, and then you don't get nowhere. Now you now you talking about I gotta fill out this loan application for you to go to get in somebody's school where you had a free scholarship.
Right.
Hey, we got a problem.
Definitely, man. Well, I appreciate it, man. I got to get up out of this deal, man.
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
Not, I'll be here forever.
I think they had we normally go out there every 2 years or so. We haven't been in since the pandemic. We'll usually go out there and have an early Thanksgiving amongst all my family.
Gotcha.
Straight Wildcat family over here. Hey,
okay.
boy, the grown and sexy. I think they said they had a jeans night out or something like that, man. Hey, man, go enjoy yourself. Hit them streets.
I'm just finna go out there and make a bad decision. If y'all don't see me on Monday, check the docket. Go check the docket. If you don't see me on Monday, check the docket. Y'all see Coach Hayes on there like this.
Hey, somebody used to have a bill. Hey, you better call Streeter. Streeter used to promote. Streeter had a sponsor that was a Bills bondsman.
Better do it. But anyway, y'all have fun. I appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot, bro.
No doubt.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to say this in conclusion. Coach got to get up out of here. Thank y'all so much. Hey, Baby Shaq, this for you, man. Just stop it. I told you always starting stuff in here, Baby Shaq. Stop it. And I mean, right this minute. Right this minute. Matter of fact, another one. Just cuz, Baby Shaq. Cut it out. And I mean, right now. And Henry Lee, you ain't too far behind. I heard you. I see. Y'all doing too much. But anyway, 2 hours in. Ellen in the building. I feel you. I appreciate it. I just want to say this. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody coming up if I don't see you. And we'll probably be off this week, man. I'm not sure if I do the Coach Me Coach this week or what. Who knows? I'm going to go celebrate these fantasy wins because I'm here whooping behind. But anyway, man, I appreciate you guys so much. It's good to get it off your chest because I was a little down, but I'm finna go out here and make it happen. Big shout out to Brother Jay Blaze right here. He actually just whooping me right now. 132 to 115 in fantasy. We playing to go to the Super Bowl. So not the Super Bowl, the national championship. He whooping me right now. So hopefully I can come back and get him later. And my doggone quarterback, I had Derek May. That dude scored 8 points. Lord have mercy. I lost my whole doggone game messing around with this fool here, man. Lord have mercy. Derek May hurt my feelings, boy. But anyway, with all that being said, thank you guys very much. As always, it's Go Canes, man. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button on the way out. All right. And with all that being said, Coach, I'll holler at you. Peace.